all the times I've done promises that I had nightmares along the way. I made prayers in vain. I've waited so long to catch my breath. I'm awake, I'm alive. Made me
Welcome back to ESDA round number 2 here in Interlagos. The man, the myth, the legend, Keenan Kusin in the booth with me. Hey, Keenan.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh my God, you scared me.
Hello. As we're going, man.
Asleep at the wheel here a little bit. We're fine. It's back.
We're getting
good.
through it, man. I did a 3-hour race at 4 a.m. this morning before this. I'm ready to go, man. I'm ready to fight a bear. This is our judges today. We got Doug Armstead, Brady, Andy Collins. Our drone cam today is Josh Spawns, and our showrunner is Hayden Rigsby. Where do we find ourselves?
We are just starting the top 32. Again, we leave the beaches of eastern Florida and head down into Brazil, a budding, I think, drifting community. A lot of really, really big names coming out of Brazil. João Barrion, Diego Higa, just name a few. But we are here with ESDA at one of the most famous racetracks in the world, Autodromo José Carlos Pache, Interlagos. About Sector 2 here, Joe. I think it would be fair to say, maybe going into Sector 3, one of the best parts of the Grand Prix course.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Take a quick look at that here. For those who missed qualifying, 2 very, very serious outer zones with walls. And, you know, the walls do not play into your... The walls aren't unforgivable.
They will bite you. They will bite you, and it will hurt, is the best way to put it, for sure, as what we saw in qualifying. So we're going to do battles now. If you've never caught battles before in competitive drifting, it's fairly straightforward. There will be 2 drivers in a battle. There will be 2 runs. The drivers will alternate who leads and chases. The lead driver, their goal is to run as close to a perfect qualifying run as possible. Smooth, good angle, good consistent speed, all of these things. And then the chase driver has to try and mimic what the lead driver does as closely as possible while also driving as closely as possible. And then the judges, 3 judges, will decide between one driver, the other driver, or a one more time where they just will wipe that first run off the board and get right back into it. But let's see how these battles are getting lined up. So qualifying, Austin Zalewski with a 94.3, doing great. And then our cutoff was about an 80. So let's take a look at our full brackets here. Look at that. But we'll take a look first at our Vosan group number 1. We got Austin Zalewski up against Martinez Ostreka, Maxine Chikowitz, which the name is too long. I need to resize that, noting that down. Up against William Holloway, Pavel Gunnan up against Kevin Ryanow, and then Roy Munoz up against Rashandi Andrea. Look at that. So let's take a look at our first battle. That's not that. It is that. There we go. Austin Zalewski up against Martinez Ostreka. Looking very, very strong in qualifying. Both of these drivers. There we go. So we're gonna get them up to the line and we're gonna get them ready to go, right? I think that's the only thing to do at this point.
Yeah, they're just getting their final warm-up rounds in. Austin Zalewski, again, for those who missed round number 1 at Daytona, your round 1 winner, qualified 3rd in Daytona, and I only had 2 more places to gain in qualifying, and he found them. So does this make a more dangerous A to Z, a more dangerous Austin Zalewski, or is this going to be a little bit of extra pressure? Very rarely do you see somebody have a perfect event, but Austin going to try to go for it today. But, Joe, he's going up against the monolith that is one of those Team Erta Esports drivers in Martinez Ostreka.
Yeah, Martinez Ostreka, again, came out swinging in qualifying. And we're going to go and we're just taking a look at our drone cam right now as our drivers warm on up. Our judges are signaling us that they are ready to get this Vosan Group 1 underway. And again, our first battle will be Austin Zalewski up against Martinez Ostreka. Be very good Corvette on E36 action as we are ready to go. Line them on up, man.
Austin will be leading. Martinez giving chase. Again, qualifying scores really, really, really close. So not really still anybody's game here, TLDR, as we take a quick look with the spawns getting warmed up as well. I'm watching the Twitch. I'm watching the Twitch chat, not the production feed. There we go.
Yeah.
Got all my.
They are off, Arrow.
And here we go. First battle of round number 2 here from Brazil. Martinez Ostreka for Team Urta in the chase on the mountains. On Zalewski in the lead. Great initiation. Right to the wall. That C6 Corvette said he looked really comfortable. It was one of the best cars that he could drive. So we're obviously having a round win. Maybe not getting all of that inner clip, but it seems like a lot of people. We're all big flick from Austin Zalewski going into the last zone. And Austin Zalewski, I gotta tell you, if he's trying to make it 2 for 2, that's a heck of a start. But not a bad chase from Martinez Ostreka. Actually, more angle on the second inner clip, Joe.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all from Martinez Ostreka in that chase. This is definitely not the right replay. I don't know why it didn't catch the right one. Come on, do the thing where I hit the button and then you play the right replay. It didn't grab a replay of run 1. Don't know why. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But we'll get through it. Because we'll get him back up. As Spawns might have something up his sleeve. Yeah, he does. There we go. As here we go. Austin Zalewski in the lead. Martinez Ostreka in the chase. Looking very, very strong. And again, pushing right on in there. We'll get him lined up and ready for run number 2.
You saw that little wiggle from Austin in the lead on inner clip 2. Or 1, I think, actually. No notes today for me. We're flying blind as we go into run number 2.
Okay, Martinez Ostreka in the lead. Austin Zalewski in the chase. Big initiation from both drivers. A lot of angle. Maybe contact from Austin in the chase as Martinez kind of put out the anchors everyone's been doing in qualifying. It just seems to be what is in the fashion, is to really just huck it in there and leave it hanging. But Austin unfazed about any of that contact, as well as Martinez.
Oh, contact!
Big contact. And I think we're going to just take a look at that second replay and really see what happened here.
Yeah, this is going to be the important one. Again, that it was before the line. That yellow line is not your ending line. It got moved back in the driver's meeting, so the white line before it and the exit of the corner. But again, look at the replay here. Austin doing a great job of putting some pressure on Martinez. Martinez trying to hang on in that BMW. Good flick. Nice job on the outer zone. Now what happens here? Austin loses a bit of angle, grabs the curb. I don't know if he just got over aggressive there, Joe, but I didn't really see any issue for Martinez. I'm going to double check the notes from the drivers meeting today just to see if there's tire drops or anything, because if there's no tire drops allowed, I don't think there is there.
I don't think so as well.
We might be, I don't know if upset's the right word, but
I don't know, because I don't think there's a decel zone there. And let's take a look at run number 1. I don't think anything happened in run number 1 that was so egregious that, like, you know, I can't think anything happened in run number 1 where it wouldn't come down to that contact in run number 2.
So follow car can drop 1 tire on the rumble is what I got out of the driver's meeting. So if you want to be super pedantic, we can go double check if it was 1 tire, but that's not an automatic admission of guilt. So
yeah.
Again, this is the lead for Austin. Not a whole lot to. I mean,
it's a good run, but it's not like nothing crazy is going on here. And I just wanted to take a look to double check me, thinking that, yeah, it's a decent run from both drivers, but again, nothing too crazy. Yeah, nothing insane there in our drone cam. But this is definitely where all the discussion is gonna be.
Yeah, I think not the way you want to start a top 32 here in Brazil, especially this track. This track was a hit last season. Couple little updates this season. I think that changed it a little bit. I'm not sure if I like it more, but I think it's going to work out better for battles. Again, you guys saw a little bit on the track map, as we do have a call here.
We do, and it is unanimous, in fact. So an OMT Bring them back up to the line. Let's do this one more time. The judges didn't like that. They needed more. They thought that maybe that contact was a little bit on both of them. You have to assign fault, but at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to see if we can get an extra word from the judges there to see why they went OMT. I didn't really see anything in the first run. We'll go ahead with this run, and we'll give you guys an update. I just asked them to write something in our little staff chat, see if we can get anything. But OMT, first battle of the day. You're going to see it again. Martinez Ostreka for Team Urta chasing Austin Zalewski, your last round, round one winner for On the Mountain. Not the best initiation for Martinez, maybe a little bit early, but Austin making all the use of that flat bottom girl in that C6 Corvette, using the short tail to his advantage, getting all of the wall, but Martinez will not be left behind right there in the chase, maybe lacking just a little bit of angle, but Austin Zalewski, man, he said in his interview, Joe, last round that the Corvette and him felt really good, and he's number one qualifier and just put on 2 number one qualifying lead runs.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that he just went out there and really just went for it. And Martinez Ostreka not shook in the least bit about it as well. So good to see. All of our drivers today are they're in it to win it. Just coming off of qualifying alone, no one's going to be an easy battle. I think every battle all the way to the final will be this tight, as we're getting them back up to the line.
So getting word from, I believe, Swirly. Oh, no, I lied. I thought we were getting some clarification from that last battle, but I think we were just... We'll let you know when we know. But again, switching up here, Austin, I got to imagine, at least sitting on a little bit of an advantage. Martinez can take it away from him. This is going to be a close battle. Again, your number one qualifier versus your number two qualifier. ESDA, that doesn't mean a darn thing. US versus Lithuania as well. It was like seeing the Ostrekas and Team Urta Esports as we send them down the pipe for run number 2.
And here we go. Martinez Ostreka in the lead. Austin Zalewski in the chase. They're gonna hope to not have the same issues, and already there is contact. I think Austin Zalewski disagrees with how slow you need to go through those decel zones. And again, if it's happening in every decel zone, if I'm a judge, I'd just be agitated with both of them. It's like, you two figure it out, and let's see what happens here as we go through the final inside clip. And Austin Zalewski, a little bit of a bump over the line.
I gotta say, Joe, I mean, me and you, what I love about us as a duo is we both see things very differently. We like, I don't want to say we always disagree, but
no.
We catch different things. It almost looks like Martinez got like hung up on the wall there. Yeah. Just really quick from looking at the replay. I'm not sure if that was lag or anything. Keep in mind, what we do in ESDA is if the drivers are predominantly either from the EU or from the US in the group, that's the server we use. So we are in a US server. That could be why we got the OMT before. We still haven't gotten clarification on that. But you can take a look at that second run. Yeah, it just parks it for a little bit longer. He's about quarter way through the zone. On the first battle, they said Ostreka, we feel choked up on the lead on the final corner while he had a good run on the first. Therefore, we chose OMT. The contact was deemed to be Ostreka's fault. So that was why we got here. And we are still waiting on results from the second battle.
Taking a look at this because we can.
I'm just trying to see how far the decel zone goes. Yeah, the decel zone basically goes up to the start of the wall.
As we are getting a call in, as we're hearing our next battles car on doing some but here we go. Slide him left for Austin Zalewski, slide him right for Martinez Ostreka, in the middle for an OMT. And we have a unanimous decision. Martinez Ostreka moving on. Look at that.
That's a huge upset, especially for points. Austin Zalewski, your round winner, going out in the top 32. Shades of Frederick Osbo at Englishtown.
That was real crazy. But up next, we got Maxine Chikowitz up against William Holloway. Two very good drivers as well.
Speaking of Formula Drift, William Holloway representing Kyle Mohan Racing and Maxence Chikowitz with ACDFR, the French championship. Always nice to see the Frenchmen out here.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we're getting him up to the line here. Again, taking a look at our track media staff. Keenan and I are out here.
I didn't notice this. I'm pretty sure it was there for Daytona too, because I saw the little characters, the little bonums, if you will. And I was shooting B-roll and I went, wait a minute, one of these dudes looks really familiar, and it's my stupid face. And then I look over at the camera guy and it's your stupid face.
Dude, we're busy being stupid with our faces. Come on.
Thank you, Brady. That was very cool.
Very, very cool, Brady. Well, let's get ready for run number 1. Maxine Chikowitz up against William Holloway, and they are off.
All right, Max Thompson, the lead in the BMW. In the chase is William Holloway in the Kyle Mohan Racing FD RX-7. Not the best 2022 from William, trying to make best of 2023. Max Thompson, not the best entry, but got it back up to the wall, doing a great job. Now, big angle from that BMW. Nowhere for William to go, though. Gets in the door and in the door again. Just nowhere to go. I don't know if Max Thompson just pulled too much angle and had no speed, or William just put a little bit too much dip on his chip, but that is going to be looked at from the judges for sure.
I like a good chip dip. As we're going to the judges are going to have something to think about on that one. Jeez, what a run.
Yeah, watch right here. Yeah, I don't know if Will just got a little excited and ended up making contact. Max Thompson pulled big angle in outer zone 2, so I don't know if he just didn't have speed or there's definitely some ways for that to be looked at. At least from the replay camera, that Max Thompson just was on his line and William just got a little bit too aggressive. We'll see.
And we definitely will see as we are getting back to the line. Ready to go here. William Holloway in the lead now. Maxon in the chase.
Are you getting there?
I'm working on it, man. Once I figured out it's kind of French, I'm working on it.
Oui.
Oui. And here we go. William in the lead. Maxon in the chase. Big initiation.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, woo. And again, William Holloway putting on the gas, keeping it out of the wall just barely. And let's see if Maxon returns the favor. Does not, but William Holloway is all over on his lead run. What is going on here? It's just chaos as across the line.
Yeah, I'll say William let it all hang out there, especially after Interclip 1. That is I think they're going to be your hot spot of the round. It seems like a lot of drivers don't have to choke up a little bit there, and a lot do. I don't know how much that was penalized in qualifying, but look at your bottom right hand of the screen. Will's just do it. I think he might think he was at fault for that contact because he's throwing everything at the wall here. Big angle there. Maxon's just kind of giving him the room, giving him the space to breathe, but matching the angle. So I don't know if Will thought he was at fault for run 1, but he definitely threw it in run 2. Not sure it's going to be enough, Joe, if he is indeed at fault for the contact.
And let's just take a look at it just because we have it while we're getting our score on in here. And again, let's see how this initiation, because William Holloway really threw it in and it was weird. There, yeah, the weird.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but we'll see who takes the win here. As we are getting word, our judges do have a call here. Let's go. So we'll slide it left for Maxon, slide it right for William, keeping the middle for an OMT. And we have 1, 2, and 3 for Maxon Chikowitz moving on. Hey, we'll be taking on Martinez Ostraka in the top 16. But up next, we got Pavel Gunnin up against Kevin Ryan now.
Pavel Gunnin, your number 1 qualifier from Daytona, being on the podium, trying to make it back there. I gotta say, early contention for ESDA most improved.
Oh, for sure.
But out of Indonesia, Kevin Ryan going to try to win this battle right now in the FDRX7 with the Veilslide body kit on it, but he's going up against SMP Racing Esports' very own Pavel Gunnin with a huge result last round. Let's see if we can make good on it again. We've seen an upset before. We might see another one. Pavel Gunnin in the lead in the Supra. Not the best initiation from Kevin. May even be a 0. I'll have to take another look at that. Just kind of double initiation. Pavel Gunnin, all of the angle in that Mark IV Supra. Kevin trying to stay with him. Going into the last corner, nice transition from Pavel. Kevin even missing zones, trying to keep up with the Russian, but it's not going to be good enough. No zeros on either side, Joe, but Kevin's going to be fighting from behind here.
I don't know, that initiation. Let's take a look at this replay really quick. No, he's at angle by then. Never mind. Yeah, he didn't zero it out, but I think that Kevin might be really on the back foot here.
Yeah, that was the only thing, is maybe something in that initiation caused something, but I didn't see anything. I just saw maybe Kevin went a little early and went, uh-oh, and then kind of shimmied to make it to where he wanted. And you could see that by how he didn't quite fill all the first outer zone. Unfortunately for him, there were no issues up front. So we'll see what happens here. Pavel in the chase. Would say historically his better position is in the lead, but we'll see what happens here.
As we are up on the line now, Kevin Ryan now in the lead, Pavel Gunnin in the chase. Kevin definitely sitting on a deficit, at least in how I'm seeing it. And let's see what they have up their sleeve, throwing it on in again. That weird like two-stepped initiation from Kevin Ryan now, trying to get it on there. Pavel Gunnin trying to do the best with what he has in front of him. And there is a wall, but they stayed out of it. And again, Pavel Gunnin really cutting a lot of angle, not really keeping up as much as he may need to, as we're gonna go on through, and across the line goes both of our drivers.
Flapping the hood, trying to cool that rotary down, but I think that rotary is going to be headed back to the pits here soon. Unless something happened in that second run that I completely missed. Kevin right now tagging the wall, outer zone number 2, kept the drift going, but obviously, little brushes of the wall, little tippy taps, that's all fine and good, but contacted bouncing off the wall, not ideal. Pavel, a good point to your point, Joe. Pavel really not pushing the chase as much as he needed to. I don't know if he's got a spotter or just somebody watching the stream, though. Just being like, hey, man, like, you don't really need to push that hard. He made a mistake in chase. Just do what you got to do. But as we take another look here in the Spawns FPV cam, again, joining the media team this season, been an invaluable asset. I don't know how we survived this long without him. But yeah, great job on the first outer zone. Then watch the RX-7 in the lead, bonk, right off the wall there. That's actually what opened up the gap a little bit too, because you kind of see him bounce off the wall and rocket ahead. So Pavel tries to cut just to get to him, ends up getting there, but no, I think that car is fast, but has a lot of grip, so that was the sacrifice.
And here we go, as we have it left for Pavel Gunnin, right for Kevin Ryan out in the middle for an OMT. As 1, 2, and 3, Pavel Gunnin moving on.
Yeah, bummed for Kevin. Big fan of the Kev, but unfortunately that will be him not in top 32. One of my favorite cars on the grid, but we will see the Indonesian back in round number 3, wherever that may be, on July 22nd. But to get there, we still have many battles to go through. Do you like Kyle Mohan Racing? Well, you have another one. Rashandi Andrea driving the Kyle Mohan RX-8, going to go up against Roy Munoz with Team Ascent in the Supra.
Looking very good. Excited to see this battle as they're going to get up to the line here. Gotta warm up the tires, gotta warm up the oil, man. You don't want to blow out a head gasket on your rotary.
Kind of cool to see Rashandi out here representing the island of Curacao. Usually that's what I put in my drinks. A little 7-Up, little vodka, little Blue Lagoon.
I'll drink one of them.
You'll drink what I make you.
I'll drink anything you put in front of me. Let's
you'll
just
like
be real.
it's my day. You will drink your Molson Canadians and you will like it.
I'll drink a lot of Molsons as we are ready and getting ready to go here.
Trying to avenge the loss of his teammate, William Holloway. In the Piston Killer RX-8 is Rosandi Andrea in the chase, but Roy Munoz, Team Ascent. Huge representation for Team Ascent last round. Not the best initiation from Roy. Had to pour a little bit more angle on into it. And, this one's over pretty quick.
Oh, I'm going to need to see a closer replay of that one because, my gosh. Do you think he slowed up too much?
So from what I saw in the initiation, Joe, is he initiated but didn't quite have the angle. And if you don't pull the right amount of angle, you will overshoot and hit the wall. So he threw a little bit more. But it almost even looked like Rashandi didn't even hit him from what I'm watching.
Let's see here.
Perfect.
Let's see what we got here as we're going to throw it on in. right on there.
Is
They
there
touch,
oh,
yeah, they
absolutely.
definitely touch, but it's the lightest bit. It's
Yeah, I
just
mean,
the lightest bit.
A set of course a moment, unfortunately.
Yeah, such a shame as we're gonna line them up here and get them ready.
Kind of the only real drawback using AC as a drift platform. You can do whatever you want with this game, but and it seems like with modding and community support, it's only going to get better and better and better. But the contact model is from a 2015 game engine. There is no give, and if you lightly tap somebody, unless you really know what you're doing, they just get sent 40 feet ahead. So it's kind of a shame, but it is what it is. All these drivers out here are very familiar with it.
Oh yeah, it's such a frustration, but they're right up at the line. Time to wipe off that stress and just send it. Rashandi Andrea now in the lead. Roy Munoz in the chase. Both drivers definitely have an opinion. What are we doing, boys? We can't do dual backies like this as we're going through the transition, keeping it out of the wall. Roy Munoz trying to stay up on that KMR RX-8 of Rashandi Andrea through the transition, looking very, very good, pushing up. Let's see, through the inside clip and across the line. No chill from both of these drivers. Again, just let's take a look at these replays.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to that first run. There is some jank in that second run, obviously. Both of them cleaned it up to get a good finish, at least put on a good show for the fans at home. But the start of that run, not ideal from either. I don't know who's going to move on here. I have an inkling that I do, but I think both of them, while they're waiting to do their top 16 run, have to at least be pondering what they're going to do with their initiation. Roy threw it all at the wall and really had to. Big angle like that is cool, but you got to maintain it. That's the big thing.
As we are getting a call on in here. Slide him left for Roy Munoz. Slide him right for Rashandi Andrea in the middle for an OMT. As let's see here. 1, 2, and 3 for Roy Munoz moving on. And now we are on to our top 16 battles here in group number 1. Let's take a look at this. It's going to be Maxine Chikowicz will be leading Martinez Ostreka. Then we have Pavel Gunnin and Roy Munoz. Let's see what they got up their sleeve here. So let's take a look at our first battle in our top 16. We got Maxine Chikowicz up against Martinez Ostreka. New versus old.
Yeah, both Europeans here in the NA lobby. One driving out of Lithuania, one driving out of France. Maxence Chikowicz in the lead for ACDFR out of France. And then for Lithuania, Martinez Ostreka qualified 32nd. Joe just took out our number 1 qualifier. I think we're going to see Martinez go some rounds today, maybe. And the only reason I'm going to say maybe is to keep the commentator's curse off of him. So we'll see. Yeah, I think he's going to build on that momentum. Usually what happens with Martinez is the first battle is always his biggest challenge to see what he could do here. All BMW battle. Maxence Chikowicz in the lead. Martinez Ostreka giving chase for Team Urta. I straight up not good initiation for Martinez. Ended up getting to the door, but now he's going to drop back a little bit as Maxence, somebody who struggled to qualify last season, is putting on a great lead run right now in the ACDFR BMW. Trying to get to that last inner clip. Maybe not the best line, and initiated a little early to that last inner clip. Was able to get Martinez to close the gap, but Martinez with a big mistake on his initiation.
Yeah, and not that initiation might be enough at this level. Just the whole run's gone after that. As again, both drivers kind of doing a little trading paints. They're trading paints.
That's the iRacing thing.
Yeah, right. As they are on that good thing that they're both yellow cars though, so like paint doesn't show up.
I think the yellow BMW will win this.
I think that a yellow BMW is a good guess for what we're gonna see here.
Hello, my name is Jared Deanda.
You're really doing well, Jared. Let's take a look at this run.
And watch the initiation here from Martinez. Just doesn't get the angle. I don't know if he got spooked because of how close he got to Maxence in the initiation or what happened there.
Yeah, but something.
Little tap. No zero, I think, from it. Definitely a deduction. So I think this battle is still wide open, but We're going to have to see Martinez put down the lead run of his life here to try and force a OMT or a battle win.
And here we go. Martinez Ostrika in the lead. Maxine Chikowitz in the chase. And they are off. Big angle. Okay, they are staying out of each other, which is all they really need to do now. And I think that maybe Martinez is fighting a fight that he cannot win here. Woo! I don't know, though. Going through the transition, final transition. Let's see. It's all down to this last inside clip and across the line. Looking good.
Man, the ACDFR fellas must have put in some work in the offseason because Maxence with a solid chase run. What was really impressive is he got the closest to Martinez Ostrika, who did put down a solid lead run, but in the fastest parts of the course. Watch the transition here, nice and solid from both, but look at Maxence close, uses the inside line to his advantage, gets right to the door of that BMW A36 in the lead, and then gets right back to him again. Maybe drops back a little bit because he went a little bit wide going into clip 2, but for the most part, a solid chase.
Let's take a look at this replay again from a different angle because we might as well. Let's see, here's our judges getting their calls on in here. Again, look at this, really just on it. Max on the warpath today, coming in as the 32nd seed. Upset City. And let's see, as we do have a call here. Will it be another upset? Slide him left for Maxine Chikowitz. Slide him right for Martinez Ostrika. In the middle for an OMT.
Cursed him. My fault.
Yep, as Maxine Chikowitz is moving on into our Grade 8 battle. Who will he go up against? It's going to be one of these two. One of them Supras. Pavel Gunnin up against Roy Munoz.
So all Mark IV Super battle. Roy, one with the V8 power, one with the 2J, I think. Roy Munoz in the Team Ascent Supra. Again, driving out of the U.S. for Team Ascent. Pavel Gunnin in the SMP Racing Esports machine. The Russian been very solid in his lead runs. This is your number 8 and your number 9 qualifier. There are 2 Supras and only one can move on. Pavel Gunnin in the lead position. Roy Munoz in the chase. The gap already open, but Pavel kind of choked it up a little bit in towards that first outer zone. Really where a lot of drivers have been struggling today. Pavel going to get all that second outer zone, though. Roy having to go a little bit shallow, but then chokes his lineup. So the gap is going to open. You might see a charge from the chase car here, and absolutely, completely ignores the last outer zone, trying to stay with Pavel Gunnin. But, you know, it's crazy to say, Joe, because it was still close, but I don't think it was close enough.
I think that is true, as we're going to see here. Find out as we're looking at this replay. They were looking very racy, very aggressive, as both of these drivers have come and swinging. Pavel Gunnin, especially last round, he was 3rd place if memory serves. Roy Munoz competed last year as well and was nothing but a fighter from top to bottom. If we're going to get him back up to the line. Come on, boys. There we go. We are to our line here. So we got Roy Munoz in the lead. Pavel Gunnin in the chase. 2 gorgeous Supras. 2 great drivers, and let's see what happens here in run number 2. So Roy Munoz is going to lead Pavel Gunnin into that first corner. Let's see what they got. Big initiation, big angle from Roy, but Pavel really tucking right on in there, trying to do everything he can to give this guy a run for his money as we go through the inside clip. Looking very good. Was that contact? No, that was just Roy adjusting his car as we're going on in through the final inside clip and across the line. What do we have here?
This might be redemption day for Pavel Gunnin. A strong chase run from the SMP Racing Esports machine. And maybe ignoring a little bit of that first outer zone, not much. But then right there on the door, Roy, you can see in the side-by-side, just night and day difference when it comes to the chases right across the bumper of Roy Munoz. Roy getting all the outer zone, pushing in late, but Pavel Gunnin just mirroring him like a ghost in the shadows.
Yeah, Pavel Gunnin with a really, really mean chase. Let's take a look at this drone. Look at this, just throwing it on in, and Roy Munoz just with crazy angle. Pavel Gunnin not knowing what to do with it, and then just tucking on in. And look at this, really committed through the wall as well. There we go. As we do, in fact, have a call. Who will be moving on? Let's see here. So slide it left for Roy. Oh, slide it left for Pavel Gunnin. Slide it right for Roy Munoz. In the middle for an OMT. And we have a unanimous decision. Pavel Gunnin moving on.
Yeah, I can't say I'm too surprised. Pavel trying to make his second final appearance in 2 rounds, but trying to play spoiler is Maxence Chekowicz. 2 Europeans in the NA server, the only 2 to move on into the final. This is the final of Vosan Group number 1. The winner of this will be going to your Next Level Racing Final 4 to compete for the overall win. We are flying through our first group here as we get both drivers on the line. SMP Racing Esports, ACDFR, BMW versus Toyota. Pavel Gunnin in the lead. Maxence Chekowicz in the chase. Pavel initiating. Gap already forming. Maxence doing a great job of closing the gap, but having to sacrifice a little bit in the first outer zone. Pavel is so good on the outer zones, pulling more angle than I think I've seen anybody do all day. It did cause a little bit of contact though, but both the drivers got away with it. Pavel still nice and smooth in the lead, but who is driving for Maxence Chekowicz right now? Carlis.
Yeah, what a run from the Frenchman in the chase. Just right up on that door. And again, Pavel Gunnin, no slouch in the lead whatsoever, but my lord, what a battle. As we're going to get him back to the line and be ready to go here.
Regardless of how this battle goes, both these drivers have improved leaps. It's Canada Day. Apparently, I've already been drinking. That's not true. I made that up. But Maxence, man, again, the ACDFR guys were here for ESDA last year, didn't quite have the luck they were looking for, would make top 32 sometimes, never really made any deep runs. It looks like they took the offseason very seriously, as well as Pavel Gunnin. Again, we talked about it a little bit earlier. Huge improvement over last season, but here we go, run number 2. Who's going to be moving on in your Final 4?
Maxime Chekowicz in the lead, Pavel Gunnin in the chase. There we go. Big angle from both drivers. Pavel Gunnin trying to claw into anything after that chase that Maxime really just went for. And again, looking great in the lead, but Pavel Gunnin having to cut a little bit of angle to keep up with that Eurofighter. My gosh, what a car, what a driver, what a battle. So let's take a look at this replay.
So taking a look at run number 2, Joe, do you think that Super just was set up for the lead runs? It looks like it has so much grip in it. Initiation there, kind of the same thing where Pavel goes a little bit shallow, doesn't lack the angle, but similar mistake, maybe just not as bad, but then up the hill, watch Pavel and chase here. Misses the outer zone there, kind of a little bit of a transition. Yep. It looks like he's just got a ton of grip in that car, and he's not ready for Maxence, who finds the speed when he needs it.
Yeah, for sure. And let's take a look at our eye in the sky while we're at it, because we might as well. Here we go. Take a look at that. He's ripping on in here. Big initiation. Again, look at Pavel, man. He's getting on in there.
Great job in the first outer zone. Right there. Nice job on the wall, but watch Pavel in the chase here. Just not a whole lot of angle. I think he may have just tagged that outer zone. Hits the second touch and go and gets on the inside there and over the line where he kind of goes shallow, but
overall just a crazy run there. That's what I wanted. That's the button. Once again, our judges looking over with a fine-toothed comb as they did during qualifying as well. We'll see who wins. I got a feeling I know where this is going. Okay. We do have our call on in here. Slide it left for Pavel Gunnin, slide it right for Maxence Chekowicz. In the middle for an OMT. Swirly with an OMT. Brady going for Pavel Gunnin. And Andy going for Maxine Chikowitz. So we're going to line them up again.
Not very often you see a split decision in the ESDA judging booth. I think the OMT was the right call. But it wasn't for Maxence dropping a bit of angle in his chase in OZ1. I think that was a Maxence Chikowitz win. But their mistakes evening out. Obviously, the judges could not decide. We are going to be getting them battling one more time. Again, the Frenchman in the chase in the BMW M2 Eurofighter. And in the lead, Pavel Gunnin, the Russian, in the Supra for SMP Racing Esports and Sideways Gang. Seeing if we can get both these drivers to the line, and we do. We are ready to go one more time. We had a one more time based on zeros and mistakes in the first part of this group, and now we got one on merit. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, again, the winner is going to be moving on to your next level racing final four. Maxence Chikowitz in the chase. Pavel Gunnin in the lead. Pavel going a little bit more conservative with the angle in the first outer zone, but we know we can bring it on the second one. Maxence right there now. Oh, there you go. Pavel Gunnin with all of the angle and more. Outer zone number 2. If he ends up making it to the final four, you need to keep your eye on outer zone 2. Maxence dropping back just a little bit, but then getting right back to the door of the Toyota Supra right at the end of the run. Maybe having him lack a little bit of angle, but kept the proximity. I think barring another look at the first zone here.
It's just nuts. It's just a nuts run.
Yeah, just, again, same kind of thing. Where he threw big angle, realized Papa was going to pull away a little bit and kind of choked up just a hair. Not a huge mistake. I don't even think it was a mistake. I think it's something he did on purpose, but only real faults of either driver. I think maybe would have liked to have seen Maxence with a little bit more angle over the line, but that's very, very minor as we move into run number 2.
We're getting them up to the line and ready to go here. So we got Maxine Chikowitz in the lead, Pavel Gunnin in the chase on our OMT. Both drivers want to get into our final four coming out of the Vosan group number 1. They both have definitely fought for this spot. So let's see what we're going to happen here in our OMT battle, our second run, and they are off. Look at them go. We got Maxine Chikowitz in the lead, Pavel Gunnin in the chase. Big angle from the Frenchman as Pavel Gunnin getting on into that door very nicely through the transition, trying to fight right back up. There we go again, just pushing as hard as they can through this transition, final transition. Let's see what they have up their sleeve here. Again, Pavel Gunnin going blow for blow, it seems like. These guys.
Very evenly matched. Again, Pavel Gunnin with all the speed and more in that Supra. I think all that grip is how he's able to pull that big angle. Watch the bottom run on your screen, the bottom right run. Nice and smooth from Pavel Gunnin in outer zone 1, which is a big difference between him and Maxence. Sorry, I'm starting to be you now. And look at just the matching of the angle, the matching of the line. He does miss that zone again in chase, but I don't know. It's going to be another tough one for the judges, I think.
Oh, I definitely think it will be, as we're going to pop on over, check out on our drone really quick as well.
And this is the second of the 2 runs. Pavel Gunnin in the chase. Needed something a little bit spicy here to kind of seal the deal. Maxence finally got it in nice and deep to outer zone number 1. Pavel missed the first bit of it. Maybe could have pulled a little bit more angle here, but like, look at the proximity. Just nudging the door. Completely misses that outer zone. I wonder if that's going to cost him here with the judges.
I do not know. And again, let's take a look at our replays side by side. Our judges definitely having a discussion about it. Nope, we got a call. Here we go. Slide him left for Pavel Gunnin. Slide him right for Maxine Chikowitz. Keep him in the middle for an OMT. 1, 2, and 3. Maxine Chikowitz going into our final 4. So let's take a look at how Group 1 unfolded.
Yeah, the Frenchman saying merci beaucoup et au revoir to Pavel Gunnin. Maxence with, I would argue, the upset over the SMP Racing Esports Supra and moving into your next level racing final 4. Great job from all of our drivers in our Vosan group number 1, but Maxence Chekowicz will be the sole survivor as we move into our Moza Racing group number 2 with new big names like Kara Mustard, Jack Lai, Ivan Plushin, Yellow Morbinov, Nico Stalia, Liam Akihiko, Samuel Guns, and Mustafa Amin. There is still so much drifting action, ladies and gentlemen, to come from Interlagos, Brazil. Autodromo Jose Carlos Pachi here in Sao Paulo from the 2023 Esports Drift Association Pro Championship round number 2. We'll be back in a moment where our coverage continues. Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit MozaRacing.com today. By 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today. Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit MozaRacing.com today. By 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today. Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit MozaRacing.com today. By 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today. Welcome back, everybody, to round number 2 of the Esports Drift Association Pro Championship of 2023. My name is Keenan Kuzin, joined, of course, by Joe Piro here at the beautiful Sao Paulo, Brazil, Interlagos, Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, however you, that is Daytona, and that's where we were, and then flung into space like a baseball down to South America, our next region of our world tour, and back to Interlagos with some minor changes, but we are here for our Moza Racing group number 2, Joe.
Yes, we are, Keenan, and let's take a look. So our group number 1 happened already, Vosan group number 1, but here we are for our Moza Racing group number 2. We got Cameron Mustard up against Jack Lai, Ivan Puslenin up against Mikhail Mordvanov, Nico Stalia up against Liam Akihiko, and Samuel Guns up against Mustafa Amin. So I think they're like lined up and almost ready to go here. So for our first battle, we got Cameron Mustard up against Jack Lai. Looking very good. I think we're ready for this battle to happen. And we're going to find our game, and there it is.
Cameron Mustard of Team RPM, the only Scotsman in competition, up against Jack Lai, representing China from Team Ascent. So Cameron Mustard in the lead in the Jap Speed R32, chasing in the Supra, in the rotary Supra, as Jack Lai. Cameron Mustard with the initiation of a lifetime, and unfortunately for Jack Lai, that was the worst time for him to make a mistake on initiation. Right to the door of Cameron Mustard, though. Cameron's been maybe not getting all of that inner clip. Transitioning into the final part of the course. Nice job on that outer line. Gets the inner clip at the end. And Jack Lai with Joe, not the best run from either of them, but I think Jack might be sitting on the bigger of mistakes.
I kind of have to say I agree with that, as much as I just want to see that car more. I can't get over it. But Cameron Mustard in that R32.3 going very good, but Jack Lai, he's not there, but it's nothing to write home about. But I definitely do not think he built himself a hill that he cannot climb, for sure. So Jack Lai, if he throws down a really solid lead run, that straight and kind of near the end is going to be frustrating, but you can always have someone chasing you mess up as well. So it's like anything can happen. We still got one more run. It's definitely close.
Your number 4 versus your number 29 qualifier in Jack Lai. Cameron, been an ESDA stalwart ever since we moved over here to Assetto Corsa. You can pretty much see him in any competition, it seems like. Anytime I bring up competitive drifting, he's there. Yep. He's put in the work. He's put in the practice. He's showing up to media days. He's doing everything he can. I don't think he had the 2022 he was looking for. Let's see if we can get 2023 off to a better start.
And they are off. We got Cameron Mustard in the chase. Jack Lai in the lead. Getting on in there. Cameron Mustard again, a big bobble. Not surprising at all, actually. Jack Lai sent it so hard as he's going on through that inside clip again, straightening up that hill. That's a place where I think a lot of drivers.
Oh my God, Cameron!
Cameron's in it to win it as he's going on through here and across the line. Do I think that it was enough to outdo what Jack Lai messed up with in run number 1? No, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think Jack might be sitting on a 0 for that second run. Take a look at the one on the bottom right. Again, same issues. Both of them almost did the same thing at the same time in run number 2. Nice transition from Cameron there right to the door of Jack Lai. And then right, I think here, Cameron right across the bumper, putting all the pressure on Jack Lai. And then Jack doing what he saw him doing qualifying. Crossing that white line is the end of the run. So going off course at the end of the track did not matter. And we have a judging call, Jay.
We do have a judging call, and it is correct. Jack Lai straightening out really gave him such a huge disadvantage. So Cameron Mustard moving on. Who will be up next? We got Ivan Plusinen up against Mikhailo Mordvinov. What do they got up their sleeves here? 2 cars, 2 really good drivers. And let's get them up to the line because we're ready to go here, man.
Ivan, another one of those SMP Racing esports drivers, a huge presence this season in ESDA, going up against Mikhailo Mordvinov. Again, a regular here for ESDA, done the last season or 2, out of Ukraine. No sponsor on the side of that car, and I'm sure if you go to, you give him a nice love tap on the shoulder, he would love to get your name on the side of that BMW.
Yeah.
Ivan Plusinen and Mikhailo Mordvinov. This is the grudge match of this group with your number 13 and your number 20 qualifier.
Will be a very close battle. I have a feeling if the rest of the bracket has been any judge, as we are getting all of our cars. We're doing our restart dance. We're getting ready to go here as we have moved over to the EU server for this group number 2. And here we go. They're lining up, getting ready to go here as our helicopter flying in the background as well. I just noticed that there's a helicopter on the track. Speaking of the track, if you want to get it at the end of this battle, this top 32, this track will be available over on Vosan. The lovely people over at Vosan are lovely sponsors with us, and happy to work with them.
They have shout out to Vosan, exclamation mark Vosan in the chat, but to get there, we still need to go through this. Oh, Mikhail, what are we doing with that initiation, buddy? Could have been a lot worse. I do think he got it initiated before the last hash mark, but Ivan Plusinen in the lead position in the SMP Racing Esports Supra V8 Power. Maybe going a little bit inside there, more than we wanted to see, but big flick from Ivan in the lead position, but Mikhail cannot be shook in the chase. A little bit from both to talk about there, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure. As both drivers, they don't want to mess up at all. They want to go on. They want to take on Cameron Mustard in the top 16 as they're going to make their way back to it. But again, that initiation was very high energy, but that's really just where it ended up. Because after this replay, we're going to take a look over to our drone real quick here. We got across the line. Let's see here.
It's super helpful to have that drone camera, especially in outer zone number 2. There's just so much smoke, it's hard to see.
Yeah, exactly. As we're getting back to the line too and ready to go. So let's take a look at this initiation. That's the part that I think was the most interesting.
Well, this was the last battle.
This is the last battle. I don't know. We're going to look at that. There you go. So we're back up to the line. We're ready to go.
And Mikhailo now in the lead. We'll see if we can get that for you for when we're going over judging calls, but if not, we'll do what we can. But Mikhailo in the lead and Ivan Plusinen in the chase.
Here we go. Mikhailo in the lead, throwing in that BMW. Even Ivan with that crazy flames shooting out of his Supra, going through the transition. Looking great. I don't think that's straightened out, but it definitely did not help. And there, yeah, it looks like Ivan's really just no angle on that Supra up the hill as we go and across the line. What happened there?
Yeah, I think Mikhail, knowing that it wasn't really set in stone there, Joe, trying to throw everything he had at that second run. You see it in the first corner in outer zone number 1, big angle from that lead BMW, especially with Ivan not really pulling any. It was really to his advantage. Big flick here from Mordvinov, but just a little bit too much angle, comes off the zone early. You don't quite see it from that camera angle, but again, like you said, no zero, no straighten, no anything serious, but I think it caused a lot of even Ivan's mistakes, at least coming up the hill. So it's going to be interesting to see how the judges view that one. I still think there's a lot to talk about in that first run as well.
We're going to take a look now at this drone cam real quick as we're getting our calls on in here. We're going to do a little flipperino into our run even. Want to get fancy. There's the sauce. There we go. Putting on big angle That's definitely what's going to go on here, as we do have a call here.
Yeah, you see him just throw it on there and then immediately come off the zone. If you could have pulled that just a little bit later, I think it would have been perfect, but just a little bit too early.
Yep, as we are getting our call on in here. Slide him left for Ivan Plusinen. Wow, I really made a mockery of that one. Plusinen up against Mikhail Mordvinov. Slide him left for Ivan, right for Mikhailo. 1, 2, and 3. Ivan moving on. And now we move into our final top 32 battle of group number 2 here. Here we go. We got Nico Stalia up against Liam Akihiko. 2 drivers in 2 very pretty cars.
Yeah, Nico Stalia, again, one of the youngest drivers that I can think of, and not even just sim drifting, but sim racing, period. And it's only been getting better and better. Just missed the top 4 in the last round. Liam Akihiko for Hashira and Suzuki Auto Body. Go check him out on Instagram. Does awesome work. I believe he made this car all himself, or at least the folks over at Suzuki Auto Body and their liveries as well. Just gorgeous stuff. Not good to see both of these drivers at the line, but unfortunately only one of them can move here in this Moza Racing group number 2.
Let's see, and they are off.
The Spaniard Nico Stalia for Escuco Drift Family in the lead. Liam in the chase for Team Hashira in the UK. That's Hashira's the noise he made when he made that initiation and just didn't quite hit the zone and completely ignores the second one, but he kind of had to if he wanted any hope of putting pressure on Nico Stalia in the second half of this run. Nico Stalia showing a level of maturity that we have not seen from him in a long time. Nice and smooth in the lead was the young Spaniard.
Yeah, and what an initiation was that. That was crazy. Keeping his head down, not letting the car flying at him really have anything to say, because unfortunately Akihiko just put too much on and it just didn't work out in his favor whatsoever.
I think he was too busy getting ready for Cameron because he threw a little bit too much mustard in that first corner.
That hurt. I feel like you should owe me something after that one.
Jeez. Right on the forehead.
Okay, I'll deal with that one. I was hoping for like $5 or some Skittles, but I'll settle for that.
You want $5 Canadian? Seriously, in this economy?
I don't care. $5.
That's like 85 cents.
$5 is $5, dude. I don't care.
No exchange rate.
I don't care.
Not at all.
I don't believe in exchange rates. Anyway, here we go. Liam Akihiko up against Nico Stalia. And one thing that they won't exchange is who's actually going to win here. That didn't work out. I was hoping it would.
I appreciate the attempt.
Oh, we are going for it as we are ready here. Liam Akihiko in the lead, Nico Stalia in the chase, and they are off. Let's see what they have. Liam hoping to force an error out of Nico Stalia, but Nico Stalia probably knows he can take it easy. Jeez! As Liam throws in all of the angle, but it's okay. They picked up the pieces, and they are working this one out. So we're going on in great through this final touch and go through the transition, looking very good as Liam dropping tires on the outside of the track. Jeez.
Yeah, I think he kind of just had to fling all he had at it. And unfortunately for Liam Akihiko, the British driver, I don't think, learning from his mistakes in that initiation, that was sweet, but Nico Stalia has been doing some practice here this week and looks very comfortable in this E46 BMW, maybe lacking a little bit of angle in interclip 1, but I don't think it's going to matter, Joe, as we are approaching, I hope.
We are.
Yes, a judging call.
We are getting to one here really quickly if I can find the right button that I need. Whoa, there it is. Slide him left for Nico Stalia. Slide him right for Liam Akihiko. Keep him in the middle for an OMT. And I think we know which way this one's going to go. Nico Stalia moving on. Okay, now is our final top 32 battle. I misspoke. I'm sorry.
I didn't want to correct you. I thought that would be rude.
It's okay. I'm fine with being corrected. And here we go. Samuel Guns in the lead. Mustafa Amin in the chase. What are they going to do here?
So Samuel also driving out of the United Kingdom from only the Elite. One of the most, honestly, my favorite livery, at least on that S15, going up against Mustafa Amin, who I'm genuinely surprised still does not have a livery on that car, but for JX Team out of Saudi Arabia. So A very international battle here as, oh my God, the sponsor, he got a sponsor.
Yes.
You love to see it.
And here we go.
Samuel Guns in the lead. Mustafa Amin giving chase. All purple car battle, but only the Nissan up in front, right to the door already is Mustafa Amin of Samuel Guns. Samuel Guns trying to run away from the Chevrolet in the chase, but just isn't able to do it. Great job on the outer zone. Great angle from Samuel Guns. A couple of little tippy taps there, I think, too. The rear corner panel. Mustafa diving down from downtown. I don't know if Samuel lifted earlier. Mustafa just got super aggressive. Great job from both to not zero that run out, but super aggressive there at the end.
Jeez, yeah, I don't know. The smoke got right in the way here. Maybe we might have gotten it from a different angle, but in that last outside zone, something definitely happened between the two of them. Jeez, guys. Let's take a look. So they go through the inside clip, they transition. And then here's what I want to see. They come on through. Right there. I think he just gripped up. You know?
Yeah, very possible. As taking a look at the replay, Yellow Speed Racing is the name of the company on the side of the door now. So congrats to Sam for running the funny sponsor.me logo for literally one round.
I still like it. I support
I'm glad somebody took him up on that. Yeah, not a negative. I'm not like lose your sponsor for the joke.
If you have sponsors, lose them for the meme, or I don't want to know you.
That is something I would say, though, to be
I would yell that at everyone.
Not sure why they reset.
I'm sure the judges told them to or something. Don't know. But they're lined up, so that's good. It's Mustafa Amin in the lead. Samuel Guns in the chase. Let's see what happens here as we are going to get our start lights. Here we go. We are off. Mustafa Amin in the lead. Samuel Guns in the chase. Let's see what Mustafa's got up his sleeve. A major contender in last season, and again, looking very strong. As soon as he threw it on in there, he could just put the power down. But Samuel Guns not going down without the fight at all. But it kind of just seems like Mustafa putting in a little bit of Gapparoni pizza between the two of them. So going on through here, really on his door and across the line. What a run from Samuel Guns right up at the end there.
Sorry, I got a DM from Dai saying Twitch is down. I'm like, no, it's fine for me. Yeah, looking at that second run, not the best exit of the first outer zone for Sam, but some mistakes from Mustafa. If you watch Mustafa's line in the C6, he just starts coming in really early. You can drop one tire as a chase vehicle, but not as the lead. So coming in a little bit early there for Mustafa. I wouldn't be surprised if we see this go one more time, just because I think both drivers could clean this up a little bit. But definitely some mistakes on both sides. Excited to see how the judges view this one.
Yeah, gonna definitely look at it. I could see an OMT from this as well. As let's take a look at run number one. Let's see what happened again at the end of this run, because they were throwing in and going for it. And again, Mustafa having to straighten out a little bit. I could see that this one balances out, honestly. Well, I don't know, but I could definitely see it. As again, we're going up the hill, and I want to see this part. This is where I think maybe a little bit of a tap. I don't know, but we do have a judging call. I'll tell you that much. Slide it left for Samuel Guns. Slide it right for Mustafa Amin in the middle for an OMT. We have 1 for Mustafa. 2 and 3. Mustafa Amin moving on. Filling out our top 16. Group number 1. 2.
which is weird because Mustafa just disconnected. So I don't know what's going on there, but we'll let you know when we know. But Mustafa Amin going to be moving on against Nico Stelia in our second battle. But to get there, we need to go through the first one. Cameron Mustard going to be going up against Ivan Plusinen. Cameron Mustard again in the Jap Speed R32, trying to make a deep run in our competition today. Again, this is our Moza Racing group number 2 here from Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache in Interlagos in Brazil. Team RPM against SMP Racing Esports. We will have Ivan Plusinen in the chase with Cameron Mustard in the Team RPM Jap Speed R32 in the lead.
And here we go. We are lined up, ready to go. Cameron Mustard in the lead. Ivan Plusinen in the chase. Nissan on Toyota. This should be a very good battle. Let's see what we have here as they are going to push on. Let's see. And they are revving on up. There are the lights, and they are off, Keenan.
So Ivan Plusinen in the chase and Cameron Mustard in the lead. The R32. Big initiation here. Huge gap already for both of them. Ivan Plusinen completely missing the first outer zone, which he needed to do if he wants to get back to Cameron Mustard. Cameron with an excellent flick into the second outer zone. Ivan is there now. Is he going to be able to put enough pressure on Cameron to force a mistake from the lead driver of the Scotsman? No, He makes his own mistake. Ivan going wide into the grass. Not a good run at all from the Russian in chase, which is going to leave Mustard smiling in the lead. That was, he needed a good lead run. He had it.
Yeah, an unforced error in the chase for Ivan. Really, that's going to be huge. I think that is almost deciding right there. That's all you need to know about that run. Because otherwise, very good lead from Cameron Mustard. Very good chase from Ivan overall. But then just look at this. No contact, no nothing. Just getting into the dirt. And that really will put a hamper in. Now he's going to have to do everything he can. Let's see what we got up our sleeve here as we're going to get him ready for run number 2 here.
Yeah, I almost wonder. The only thing I can really think of is if he got gapped off the line. That's all. But we were going to run number 2. No gap this time.
And here we go. Ivan in the lead. Cameron Mustard in the chase. Really pushing up to that Supra's door. Looking very good in that R32.3. Really up on the door again, knowing that he's probably on an advantage overall, not carrying right on the bumper through the transition, pushing that Supra across the line. What a run from Cameron. He knows he has it anyway. He doesn't care.
Man, that transition going into the to the last corner was, it took the wind took the wind out of my sail and put the wind right back into my sail. Watch the bottom right hand of your screen. Great job for the Scottish driver in the chase so far. Nice job on the first 2 outer zones, but right to the door of the SMP Racing Esports machine of Ivan, which has been fast all day, and then no room for error there, and then right on the door, pushing the Supra through the last part of the course. Cameron Mustard is feeling himself today.
Yeah, I want to see that chase one more time from Cameron Mustard. Because, my God, look at him just push his way through on the track. And this is someone who probably has it in his head that he's probably going to win the battle anyway. But his spotter just set him to full, attack mode, I guess.
Yeah, watch the transition coming up the hill. Again, maybe lacking just a little bit of angle just to make sure he doesn't get gapped because those Supras have been fast. And then right here, boom, right just there. Perfect timing, right to the door. Maybe could have pulled a little bit of angle, but it didn't matter as he pushed him across the line, and we do have a judging decision.
That is correct. Slide it left for Cameron Mustard, slide it right for Ivan Plusinen, keep it in the middle for an OMT. 1, 2, and 3. Cameron Mustard definitely taking that one, and well earned for sure. It's up next. We got Nico Stalia up against Mustafa Amin. You said you liked a purple on purple battle. Well, we did it twice just for you.
I have a brand. Another super international battle. One driver driving out of the Middle East and Saudi Arabia. Nico Stalia, for the ripe age of someone in chat could probably correct me, but the ripe age of 10 out of Spain for Escuco Drift family. Nico has always been a driver that looks like he could make the Final Four and just needed a bit more patience, just needed a bit more maturity. And I think with all of his competition experiences, he's got years of experience in Assetto Corsa under his belt now, and I believe a little bit of real life driving. I think that is really helping him in the sim. Mustafa Amin made a run at a championship last year, though, so no easy fight for Nico. As we get into this first battle here of the second battle of the top 16 here in Moza Racing Group number 2. Nico Staglia, hell of an initiation, almost put it in the wall, just got it back on course in time, and then using all of the outer zone to his advantage, but Mustafa Amin is right there in the chase position. Gonna have to put some pressure on here at the end of the run. Hasn't quite matched the line, and Nico Staglia still there in proximity, but Joe, he just was kind of a little bit shallow everywhere. Not a huge mistake, but I think a lot of little ones.
I would have to agree with that observation, Keenan. As again, big angle from Keenan, but I think Mustafa's just right up on him. Oh my God, not for Keenan, but for
I'm in the
Nico.
BMW. No, it's
You're
me.
in the BMW.
I'm 10 years old. I'm from Spain.
You're driving that good, man. It's been a day.
Hola. Sí.
You got it, man. You've been practicing too.
Dos cervezas, por favor.
Yeah. So that was what a run is. Let's get him up to the line. I think they might almost be back there.
Sorry, Joe.
I'm just, he's yelling. Keenan's doing some yelling.
me yelling in ESDA broadcast?
No
That's
way.
literally never happened ever. Yeah, I don't know how Nico kept it out of the wall there. You couldn't really see it from the replay camera, but his rear bumper was going into the tire barrier, and as soon as he got back on the gas, it moved like 2 feet forward, and that was exactly what he needed. Really good driving from Nico.
Yeah, as we are getting on in here. There we go. Ripping out of the start gate. Mustafa Amin in the lead. Nico Staglia in the chase. And
huge server issue. Yeah, we'll see what happens here. I think we're probably going to end up rerunning that, but
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it was as bad for the stream as it was for us as Mustafa Amin finishes his run. Would hate to see Nico go out like this. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. But again, Nico we've seen some lag, we've seen some netcode. That might be the worst I've seen in a while. So
let's take a look at that really quick. Because again, and then we'll pop over to our drone. Look at this. Let's see. It's just like they didn't hit. Yeah, it looks like lag. It just freaked out, man.
Yeah, even before, like, he looks like he gets into the back of Mustafa, and it was on my screen, it was lagging before then. As Spawns, again, are a huge addition to the ESDA media team this year. Conjured as well for our screenshots. Our media game has, we thought it was going to go downhill with everything that happened in the offseason, and arguably has been stepped up. So thank you to everybody, a part of the media team, yourself too, Joe, Hayden, Amity, who's not here today, but everybody involved in the offseason, the media team, helping put these broadcasts together, did a hell of a job, just like Nico Staglia in his lead run. But it is just going to come down to whether the judges view that as a rerun or see that Nico made a mistake before we even got to the corner.
And we do have a call. They are going to rerun that battle. Well, that's the only thing that's right to do, because that's no one's control,
Yeah. Again, it is like similar to what you would see in let's say Formula Drift with a cone or something. They are just going to rerun it from run number 2. I think they'll let them both get tires because Mustafa did opt to finish his run, and tire wear, obviously tire heat, are two very, very important factors here in sim drifting.
As we are lined up, let's do this again. Hopefully the lag monster doesn't get us, as Mustafa Amin leads Nico Staglia in the chase. And let's see what we have up our sleeve here. There we go, looking good. 2 purple cars at angle. See what they have up their sleeve. Great transition. Oh my gosh. Getting right up on that door. I'm going to go through one more time. Looking very, very good. Again, across the line. Jeez, guys.
This might be Nico Staglia's year. I don't know if it's going to happen today, but with the way Nico's been driving, he was always good, but just needed a little bit of extra something, a little bit of je ne sais quoi, a little bit of the X factor, as you like to put it, Joe. And I mean, look at how consistent this chase is. Yeah, he could have maybe thrown a little bit more angle. Yeah, he could have gotten out a little bit more aggressive, but we've seen drivers push themselves into mistakes doing that. The best drivers, either in the sim or in the world, always have consistency in their chases. Maybe a little bit of contact to the door, Mustafa right there, but for the most part, a very, very solid chase from Nico Stilia.
And again, just look at this lead, how dominant it is. Mustafa Amin, a great driver and doing everything he can, but just look at that angle from Nico Stilia, just keeping it all together as we do have a call. We'll slide it left for Nico Stilia, right for Mustafa Amin, in the middle for an OMT. As Nico Stilia is going to move on. It's up next.
This is a huge battle. Again, this is your final for your Moza Racing Group number 2. Whoever wins this battle will be your Moza Racing Group number 2 champion and moving on into the next level racing Final Four. Follow along at home with ! bracket in the Twitch chat. But Nico Stilia going to be giving chase to Cameron Mustard. Both two drivers who I think were good, who just needed a little bit more last season. And two drivers trying to prove they have the little bit of an extra something. Cameron Mustard has the qualifying advantage with a number 4 qualifying placement, but Nico Stilia with a number 5. These are your two top seeds of this group.
Let's get them up to the line, ready to go here. And let's see what we have here. As again, Cameron Mustard leads Nico Stilia, two fairly large cars, actually, surprising. Two off-meta cars, and they are off.
R32 versus E46, Scotland versus Spain. Who will be moving on into your Final Four? Cameron Mustard in the lead, Nico Stilia giving chase. Great initiation from Cameron, but Nico is right there on the door. He's going to have to keep that proximity. Cameron's been really fast in the back half of the course, using all of that outer zone as Cameron Mustard taillights on the wall, but Nico Stilia is right there on Cameron Mustard. Needs to stay with him here, though, to have exclamation point at the end of the run. Excellent lead run from Cameron Mustard, and Joe maybe with a little bit of a snake in the last touch and go in the last inner clip from Nico, but a strong chase from Nico again today.
Yeah, and not to discount Cameron Mustard at all, a good chase requires a good lead. So again, what a run from both drivers. They both are hungry to win this Moza Racing Group number 2 and get into that Final Four. Oh my gosh. What a battle. And I cannot believe how close the battles have been all day. And I think this one might take the cake of just how the most aggressive thing here.
We are only halfway through our top 32 bracket. We still have the Brady Tire Generator Group number 3 and the 3D Wrap Group number 4. So 16 drivers still have to compete here, but we are down to our final 2 on the left side of the bracket. Nico Stilia now in his lead. Cameron Mustard giving chase. Will Nico crack under the pressure? Will Cameron finally break through to his Final Four? We are about 60 seconds away from finding out who moves on into your Final Four.
And here we go. Nico Stilia in the lead. Cameron Mustard in the chase, ripping it out. Big angle from Nico Stilia. Cameron Mustard, no fear though, trying to get right up on that BMW's door through the transition. Very nice and tidy. Cameron Mustard almost touching Nico Stilia, going up the hill. Let's see through the transition. Final transition of the run, and tapping on that door and across the line. Jeez, guys, what a run do you have?
You know, a lot of Nico supporters in chat, but it's going to be a tough battle to win outright. This one's really close. Cameron Mustard saying anything you can do, I can do, just as good probably in the chase position in that R32. Watch the transition there. Nico getting all of the outside wall as well, but Cameron Mustard right there in the chase position. Another excellent transition. Cameron's been transitioning as close to any car as I've seen all day today. Another little tap at Nico Stilia. That's, you know, respect out there, knowing that Nico has been on the top of his game and he's got to give Nico everything he's got. Spawns showing just how close these two drivers were, pushing each other across our old finish line. Excellent job. And watch how Nico hits the second outer zone here, because Cameron hit it about the same, and it's just so entertaining to watch. Great job on the first outer zone, just getting the BMW within track limits, and then right there, bam, right all of the outer zone. Cameron had it just as good, but maybe a little bit of a straighten from the R32 in the chase. Not a 0, but just a little mistake, but right back to the door of Nico.
And there we go. We do have a call. Who will be moving on to our Final Four? Is it going to be Cameron Mustard or Nico Stilia? One for Mustard. And a unanimous decision for Cameron Mustard moving on.
Man, I'm happy for Cameron. I think he did the Camzo Drift on Instagram. I think he deserves it. Really strong improvement from Cam. Number 4 qualifier. He's going to be able to go up against Maxon Chekowicz, but Nico Stalia once again getting knocked out in the final of his group. Great point stay from Nico Stalia, which is something that he needed if he wants to make a run at this championship, especially with how up and down the results have been, but that's got to hurt the Spaniard, but we'll see him back for round 3.
We definitely will. And let's take a look here at our full picture. So we are halfway through our top 32 right now, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go. So group number 3, let's take a look at that. At Vadim Abramovich. No, there it is. It updated. Wang Fu was Sin, Darius Ostreka, Kuwait Ebanks, Vitaly Isayev, Artyom Trusakov, Zakhar Polovsky, Joachim Hogue, and I'm letting you say that one, Keenan.
We'll worry about that when we come back from this commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed our first 2 groups, we still have so much drifting left for you to go. Welcome to the Brady Tire Generator Group number 3, who will be joining Maxon Chekowicz and Cameron Mustard in the Final 4. We'll find out as the 2023 Esports Drift Association round number 2 from Interlagos continues right after this. Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit MozaRacing.com today. By 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today. Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit MozaRacing.com today. Buy 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today. Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit MozaRacing.com today. Buy 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today. Welcome back, everybody, to round number 2 of the 2023 ESDA Pro Championship here at Interlagos. My name is Keenan Kuzin, joined in the booth by Joe Piro, and there is the rest of your production staff of the day. Joe, we are halfway through. We have our Vosan group number 1 done, our Moza Racing group number 2 done, but we have been flung over the Gulf of Mexico here to South America in a budding drift demographic of Brazil at one of the most famous racetracks in the world, Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, or Interlagos.
Interlagos, and what an iconic track, so much elevation, and it seems to be catching a few drivers out in unexpected ways, honestly. So we do have our throw in into outside zone number 1, where there is a wall, but that's only caught out one driver today. Then there's outside zone number 2, again up against the wall, no one's messed up there. Then we're going in through inside clip number 1, and then we're going up the hill through the touch and goes, and then the inside clip number 2, and that inside clip number 2 seems to be pretty drama filled, Keenan. Honestly, of all the places on this track where I would expect there to be drama, I wouldn't have told you that one. I would have called the walls all day, but not that inside clip. And let's take a look at our bracket and how we're getting there.
This is what we have in group number 3. Thanawatt Wamfushin in Hothead Racer by Race Zone GTR, your number 2 qualifier, just getting that sniped by Austin Zalewski at the last minute. He gets the pleasure of going up against Darius Ostreka. Kawane Ebanks going up against Vitaly Isayev. That should be a barn burner. Artem Trusevic and Zakhar Pawlowski. Going to see which one of them moves on into the next part of that battle. And Joachim Hong, Vosan's very own, going up against, wow, I can't even see that name on the screen.
Yeah, it's the longest name, maybe. The new longest name.
Do you want to tell me what letter it starts with so I can find it in my printout?
I couldn't even. Here's what we're going to do. Watch this.
Danielis?
Yes.
Danielis Parengauskas.
Yes, one of the longest names. I was thinking about going with a D just to make that name shorter.
My man's in debt because he'd like to buy a vowel. Holy moly. That's unreal, but... Yeah, we're getting ready for our first battle of group number 3, Joe. Yeah, but again, if you recognize this course, it is the same but different from last year. A little bit of a different run-up. The walls are a little bit in different places, and the big difference is there's no 100-mile-an-hour run up the hill this year. The track is a little bit tighter. It's a little bit slower, and I honestly thought it would make it easier, but we're seeing more mistakes than we did last year. But going up now, Darius Ostreka in the S15 Erta Esports. You always have to keep an eye on these yellow machines.
Yep.
As Thanawatt Wamfushin in a beautiful GTR with the worst sounding engine on the grid, and it's not even close. You just take a listen when you get a minute. The guy's red line is set about 5,000 RPM too low. So it's just
great.
Gargling. It sounds like a tractor. He's gargling cogs and bolts and nuts.
It's great, dude. Come on.
Beautiful car, though. Beautiful driver. Love Thunny the Honey. Let's see if we can get this win, but he's got a mountain to climb in Darius Ostreka. Heading into outer zone number 1. Good initiation. Love the flick on both these guys. Great angle from Thanawatt. Number 2 qualifier. We saw him have an excellent 2022, but Darius Ostreka, no stranger to ESDA competition, right onto the door of the GTR in the lead. All Nissan battle. I hope you're not paying for those piston rings, Thanawatt, because they're shooting through the moon right now as Darius Ostreka still on the door. Maybe a bit of a wacky transition from Thanawatt. Darius there to pick up the pieces.
As we are going to take a look at this replay really quick. And let's see here. Look, as Thanawatt Wamfushin, big angle out of the big car as Darius Ostreka tugs at that S15 right up into that pocket that he needs to be in. And again, both drivers looking great through run number 1. And I don't know, how do you really improve on this? Because again, this is just to me, looks like a very textbook, very good run overall.
Yeah, I think good run from both. The only real mistake I saw was maybe Thanawatt not getting all the angle he wanted into the last set of outer zones, or last inner clip, sorry. And then maybe Darius could have matched the angle a bit better. Very, very, nitpicky stuff, I think, from both these guys, which is a sign of a good battle. Again, Darius not qualifying super high, but that doesn't really mean anything when your cutoff score was as high as it was. And Thanawatt Wamfushin finding a way to get it done in qualifying. The guy can drive. Let's see if he can keep it up.
And here we go. Darius Ostreka in the lead. Thanawatt Wamfushin in the chase. Let's see what they got up their sleeves here as they are throwing it on in. Darius Ostreka, very good angle as Thunny the Honey trying to sneak on up to that door, having to put a little bit less angle on the car to maintain that proximity and cheat up on the line in that outside zone. Darius Ostreka really throwing down a dominant lead run as there's definitely contact there on that transition, but both drivers in it to win it. What a battle that is.
Starting to wonder if Hothead Racer is just a description of his driving style, as again really aggressive, really aggressive chase from Thunawat Wangfuishin. I think it all stemmed off the initiation, Joe. I don't know why. He jumped early, and I'm not sure why he didn't let Darius kind of pull ahead a little bit. Tried to enter right to the door, and I think it may have costed him more than it helped, but I think this is where the big issue is going to be. Doink, right across the bumper. Honestly, I think if one of these drivers wasn't from Lithuania and one of them wasn't from Thailand, that would have been clean. But just a little bit of net code in the middle of that transition, as this is the first run. Again, Thunawat in the GTR, probably one of the best liveries on the grid this year. Cool. I say that about everybody, but the car is gorgeous. The red and white vehicle. Again, it almost looks like a Gundam on the side of the car too. I don't know who does the liveries for a Hothead Racer by Race Zone, but very, very nice looking cars out here today.
As again, I'm always here for a Gunpla inspired livery here. As let's go take a look at run number 2 one more time, just to make sure that we have an idea of what's gonna go on here. We're gonna go and see. I don't know, man.
Yeah, just again, didn't really have the initiation from the jump. I think I kind of just threw him on the back foot. Really great proximity through here, but again, I really don't think it was Thunny's fault too much. I think it was just some net code and him knowing he had to get aggressive against an IRTA esports driver. But we do have a judging call, and it looks. The floor is yours. I'm not taking this away from you.
You're fine. I don't care. As we're going left for Thunny the Honey, right for Darius Ostraka, 1, 2, and 3. Going on over, moving on forward.
So Thun will not be the number 1 today. He will be unfortunately knocked out. We have 2 upsets. Your top 2 qualifiers knocked out in their top 32 battle, down to contact and mistakes. So again, this track is not playing any favorites. Qualifying position means nothing. But if you look at qualifying position, this is your second closest battle of the day on deck right now. Kawain Ebanks, second place last round, trying to get the win now. Vitaly Esayev, capable of winning anytime he is on the racetrack with the IRT Ollie bet machine out of Ukraine. Kawain Ebanks representing Jamaica. Let's see who can get the win here. Kawain Ebanks in the RX-7 FD in the lead, and Vitaly Esayev going to be giving chase.
Look at them go, Keenan, as we're throwing it on in there. Queen Ebanks with that RX-7 looking very good. Vitaly sneaking right up that door, leaving a little bit of space and trying to feel out what's going to happen here, but both drivers showing no fear through this inside clip up the hill. Let's see, through the final transition, leaving a little bit of space, but I think that's the smart thing to do on your first run. You're just trying to feel out what's going to happen here in this battle, but I think from both drivers, nothing special, but also nothing bad.
Yeah. Again, I think a lot of these guys are learning from watching the stream. You see drivers getting too aggressive on chase and paying the price for it. Vitaly, again, just kind of playing smart, not throwing big angle in turn 1, making sure Kawain doesn't really pull away. It's much easier to match in turn 2, it seems like, than turn 1. So Kawain, maybe a little bit of a straight in there, just a little bit, a couple degrees of angle off, but that's really the only mistake I saw in his lead. Nice and solid. Would like to see Vitaly get closer in the first half of the run, but again, I think both drivers have seen how much little mistakes have costed so many different drivers today, and just want to make sure they make it to run 2 with everything to play for.
As we are getting them back up to the line here, Vitaly now going to take over for the lead. Let's see what he has up his sleeve. Kawain Ebanks sitting on a great lead run. And so again, both drivers, fairly even battle. Nothing too crazy on run number 1, but no major mistakes as well, as we're getting ready for run number 2, and they are off.
Kawain Ebanks in the Team Ascent FD R Magic out of Jamaica. Vitaly Esayev for IRT Olibet from Ukraine. Kind of a double initiation there for Vitaly. He pulled the handbrake, got off it, got back on it. Kawain almost made contact because of that. Great job on the second outer zone, Vitaly Esayev, but Kawain Ebanks is right there in chase. He needs to be able to... big angle from Vitaly Esayev in the lead, but Kawain Ebanks right there, maybe not having the angle in the first half, but after the transition, right to the door, across the line. Excellent job on that second run. Again, maybe some things that both of them could have worked on. Judges definitely have something to look at here.
Oh, for sure. As we're going to take a look at our side-by-side replays. Keeping an eye on both of them here. And let's take a look at that run number 2, because run number 1 was fairly drama-free. Kawain Ebanks kind of getting in to Vitaly's door again due to that weird initiation. And let's see as they go up the hill, as we're going to go and take a look after this one at our drone replay of that as well and try to see if we have anything that really sticks out, especially from that initiation. And let's see, as we're going to take a look here from the start.
Again, Spawn's been a huge help this year. Awesome to have him on the team. But you see turning and burning him, frying the tires all the way into outer zone 1. I think maybe that could have caused the slight slowdown, because you see Vitali didn't quite get all the first outer zone, but gets all of it that time.
Yeah, very well, maybe.
And up the hill, right across the bumpers, Kawani Banks.
As we do have a call, that it's a reasonable call as well.
I know what it is.
Wow, crazy.
You know what it is. Ladies and gentlemen.
And an OMT for both of our drivers, so they will line up and do it again.
So it was not. I keep talking over you today. I don't know what's going on.
No, dude, we're chilling.
But yeah, obviously Brady, not Brady, but Swirly getting overruled there. Doug Armstead getting overruled in the judging booth. But they are going to go again. I think that was the right call. I saw a little bit of mistakes from both. Definitely think both can clean it up a little bit more. Vitaly Esayev is a monster in the chase when he decides to be. Kawani Bank put out some of the best leads running round number 1. Let's see if we could do it again. As I say that, commentator's curse is not getting in the initiation he was looking for. Ends up getting it to angle before the corner, but definitely still a mistake. Vitaly Esayev is going to be tasting blood in the water right now, and he is a shark, so he is going to feast on that mistake. Pulling away just a little bit now is Kawani Banks in the lead position, but Vitaly Esayev catching all the way back in the last transition. Kind of a push and pull run there, Joe. It seems like when one person started to pull away or the other person made a mistake, the other person made a mistake out of sympathy.
I think that is exactly what happened here, as let's take a look again at this replay. And look at them go, man. Nothing too crazy. These drivers, both of them, high-level competitors. And both of them always have the potential for a win underneath them at any time. So to see Quain in a different car this year, as well as Vitaly, so they're coming out swinging. As let's get them up to the line. Yeah,
Vitaly in the new car really surprised me. Quain, not so much. I get the vibe he's a habitual car switcher. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys you never see in the same chassis 2 years in a row. But Vitaly, I thought we'd see in that S15 for a long time. So looks like the Supra's working out for him, but he's got the Dorito machine. Second place finisher in the round number 1 of Kawani Banks behind him now.
And here we go. Vitaly Esayev in the lead. Kawani Ebanks in the chase. And here we go. Big initiation from both drivers. Kawani, no chill on that proximity on the initiation. Looking very, very good. Pushing right up on that door. And again, through the transition. Looking amazing. Going on in here. Again, through and across the line. What a run from both drivers. Jeez.
If that last one was OMT, this one's got to be at least in the ballpark of going OMT again. And much better initiations from both runs this time. At least the angle was consistent. Still like to see maybe a little bit more, but again, we are in battles now. This isn't qualifying. So really great job from Kawani in the chase. Love how he cut a little bit more of that corner just to make sure Esayev didn't get away from him. But Ebanks, again, maybe a little bit more angle like to see in the chase just to match what Vitaly is doing in the lead. Vitaly with the strongest lead run he's done all day, including his qualifying runs, which absolutely needed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a judging call.
That we do. And first, let's just take a look at this run really quick. Let's see again in the chase. Looking very, very, very aggressive through that initiation.
I won't spoil who won, Joe, but I think it was decided in this run in turn 1.
Oh, for sure. I have to agree with that. Because again, through the transition, look at that. Right on the door as we're going to get our call on in here. Slide it left for Kawani, right for Vitaly, in the middle for an OMT. 1, 2, and 3. Vitaly Esayev moving on. And who will he battle? It'll be the winner of one of these two. Artem Trusovic up against Zakhar Polovsky. Very
So
good.
Artem Trusovic, SMP Racing Esports, the R34 of that team, and Zakhar Polovsky in the only older 8.6. Both these drivers driving out of Russia, I do believe. One for Dimsim Racing, that is the yellow, orange, or yellow, red, and white and black machine. And in the lead is Artem Trusovic, actually with a Latvian flag now, so I'm not sure. But my notes say Russia. We'll see. Either way, SMP Racing Esports in the lead, and
Whoa, okay, guys, what was that?
Yeah, so that's the run's basically already over, I think, and I was wrong. He is registered as Latvian here, so Artyom trying now to get away and finish the run, maybe get some extra practice. It is going to come down to who was at fault for the contact there.
Let's take a look at that as well. Again, throwing it on in there. And there was definite contact, and he definitely slowed down. But the question was, did he slow down too much? Because that is a decel zone, but I do think that he might have just put the anchor out a little bit too much.
Yeah, so judging by what they did on the
Let's take a look at the drone.
The decel zone ends when the wall starts. So keep an eye on your lead vehicle here. He should be on power now. There was a charge in chase too, but
I don't know if we're gonna get him up to the line. I think that he was on the brakes a little too much in the lead, and just even though he was accelerating by the time they got back together, but I think that overall maybe the lead just was a little bit too scared, and the chase was really, really committed. Because I think that he would have gotten through the corner. The chase would have, without the car there. And here we go, as the car in the lead, Artem in the chase. I think both of these drivers have a different opinion on what just happened there, but one of them is now throwing down Zakhar in that 8.6. Look at him go. On through, right on in, through the transition. And again, getting through final zone, and I think that was a very dominant run from Zakhar.
yeah, Zakhar obviously pretty confident that he's taking the win on this one. Again, I think really it's going to come down to the contact. Great second run from both. And you see big dive from the 8.6, and he tries to put the brakes on. I think just watching the decel from the chase car was all I really needed to make an opinion there. But great stuff from the second one. You see not Artem, but Zakhar, sorry, in the lead for Dimsim Racing. A big angle, nice job on all the outer zones as well. Probably some of the best outer zone work we've seen all day outside of Austin Zalewski, who unfortunately was knocked out in the top 32. But again, look at the initiations right here. Artem just not a factor until the end of the corner, and you know, I'm sure he was hit in his mind. But either way, if there's contact and it is zero, and the fault hasn't really been determined, you got to give it everything you've got on the second run, regardless of whether it was your fault or not.
Oh, for sure. And again, really taking advantage of the situation as well in that 8.6, really just throwing in a heater of an initiation. And I think that kind of caught Artem off guard and really threw him off. But let's see here, as they are assigning blame. And again, let's see what our judges say.
Let's see if the Latvian can move on here, or will.
So slide it left for Artem, slide it right for Pavlovsky, in the middle for an OMT. As we got 1, 2,
Wow.
and 3.
Wow.
And it comes down to the judges assigning blame on that. 2 of the judges thought Artem was in the right and slowed down the right amount. And he did not. So I can understand why you would argue either side of that.
Yeah, and it's pretty tough because like the 8.6 in the chase was offline too. He was tighter of a line, kind of more shallow. So that's the thing. We'll see if we can get a judge in here to kind of clear that up. I know some people not agreeing with that. We'll see what we can do about that. But Danelius, oh boy. Danelius Parangauskas from IRT Olibet and Lithuania going up against Joachim Hogue, the only Norwegian in the field for Team Vosan and the only E30 in the field as well.
We are lined up and ready to go for this first run here. Joachim Hogue again with the nastiest initiations during qualifying. Unfortunately, just didn't end up paying off as much, but let's see if he can make it pay off now as he leads Danielis off, and they are off.
So Danielis in the BMW, all BMW battle, but Danielis, there, I was going to say, I think Joachim maybe a bit too much angle. Danielis getting to the door. They're going to continue on, but that is going to, as I say that, maybe a 0 from Danielis now in chase. I think that was still resulting from the contact in turn number 1 and outer zone number 1. Joachim trying to make the best of it now in that beautiful white and pink Vosan BMW. But it's going to come down once again. Joe almost cursed it, I think, when you said turn number 1 hasn't really been an issue, and now turn 1's been a constant issue.
Yeah, it really is, and I'm not complaining though. It's bringing in really good battles. That is for sure.
So that is a decel zone and going into the wall, but it's hard to tell if Joachim may have slowed down too much. He's been throwing those big angle entries, but that's kind of if you mistime it a little bit.
As we're gonna get him back up to the line.
And here we go again, setting up for run number 2. Joachim Hogue, Team Vosan, !Vosan. You can grab this track and any other ESDA track from the last year and a half on vosan.co. And Danielis Parangauskas from Lithuania, one of the IRT Olibet machines in the M2 BMW. All BMW battle.
They're lined up and off they go. Let's see here as there we go, throwing him on in. Joachim Hogue in the chase, doing everything he can to keep up with that BMW in front of him. And again, pushing right on up through the transition, looking very, very good as well. And let's see if he keeps it clean. I think Joachim Hogue might have a chance at this one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think enough happened in that first run to, or the second run, sorry, to really change the fact that the contact in run number 1. So watch the BMW in the top left of your screen. Watch the IRT machine. He kind of straightens out there too. So I think that was still as a result of the contact. But Joachim in his chase, dropping back there just a little bit. But I think that car is super gripped up, Joe, because you can kind of see it as he's moving. I had a burp there. And you can kind of see it as he's moving around in the chase position, just how that car gets settled.
As we do have a call here. Here. Boom. So we will slide him left for Joachim Hogue, slide him right for Danielis, in the middle for an OMT. And 3, Joachim Hogue moving on. Looking good.
Yeah, so Joachim not being placed at fault for that contact. I would assume good a solid chase run. Joachim's going to be moving on. I'm going to see if we can get a judge in here to explain the call. We may as well get them to do both.
Yeah, right.
The last 2 battles.
So we will see here.
As Vitaly Esayev is going to be going up against Darius Ostreka. Darius will be chasing first. Again, your the Ostreka's number 31 and number 32 today, which is, I would say, out of character, to say the least, as Darius and Vitaly are not at the line, so I'm wondering if there's a conversation happening.
No, we are having a conversation. I'm just trying to get judging calls going.
Yeah. I didn't know if one of them was pleading their case or something.
Yeah, so yes, it is exactly that. They just are feeling that they are That hit was on... Yeah, what? Get him up to the line, though.
Yeah, again, if they're not gridding up, I think that we're in a situation right now where Perngauskas is trying to make his case against Hogue and say, oh, well, he slowed up or he did this or what happened, but because neither of them have pulled to the line yet. As Darius just reset, which, resets your tires, your tire temp. Again, very important. As there they go. Okay, Vitaly is moving now. Darius is going to be giving chase. Again, pretty weird to see Darius qualifying this low. If he continues throughout the battles today, he will be chasing in every single one first. But Vitaly Esiev in a very, very hard-fought battle with Thunawat Wangfuishin, taking out your number 2 qualifier. Can he keep it going? Here we go. Vitaly Esiev in the lead. Darius Ostrika giving chase. Vitaly in the Supra. Darius in the S15 right to the door. Vitaly not quite getting the angle. Darius is going to take advantage of that and put up on the bunch of pressure. Is going to have to lift a little bit here for outer zone number 2. Great job on the outer zone number 2 from Vitaly Esiev in the lead position. But Darius Ostrika is still right there with Vitaly. Vitaly, great angle in the Supra. Darius maybe a little bit shallow on the start of that run. Again, he's allowed to drop a tire on the inner rumble as we cross the line. Two small mistakes from both of them, but other than that, good solid runs.
Yeah, very, very solid runs from both of these drivers. We'll see what they got up their sleeve here. Looking very, very good. Both drivers. And I think maybe for Darius, like, chasing for every battle first is just gonna be better for him anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, people do it in real life. We've seen people in FD intentionally throw their first run to get put in that weird little, like,
the hot
bottom.
Whatever.
They're goofy, like, let's watch the worst 8 qualifiers go again for some reason. Bottom 8. Yeah, so maybe I want to say it's a strategy because I wouldn't risk not qualifying. But maybe playing into his hands here. Vitaly going to be giving chase now this time. We know he can put on a solid chase run.
Oh, for sure. So let's get ready here. Ready for the battle. Darius Ostrika in the lead. Vitaly Isaev in the chase. Both drivers wanting to go on to the top 8, and let's send it. Let's see what happens here. Darius Ostrika really wanting to come out of the gate swinging. Vitaly Isaev right up on the door, matching angle. Oh no! And having to straighten out. Vitaly Isaev just throwing away the run at the start. Such a shame, but just going in and pushing. Still just might as well battle to the end anyway, as we're going on through and just getting a masterclass show now that the nerves are out there driving great. And across the line, such a shame that it had to go that way.
Yeah, unfortunate for Vitaly Isaev. I think he just initiated a little early compared to Darius, because you can see Darius come back on power a little bit early. Vitaly just staying on the brake and unfortunately not making the corner, zeroing out. All Darius needed to do was finish his run, and not only did he do that, he did that with confidence. So unless there's something I've totally missed, I think that will be Darius Ostrika moving on into the Brady Tire Generator final here for group number 3.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen, and we will know what happens here. We would look at some drone replay, but we already got our call. Here we go. Slide it left for Vitaly, slide it right for Darius. Keep it in the middle for an OMT. And I think we know what happened there, as Darius Ostrika moves on. And who will be next?
He'll be going up against the winner of this battle, which will be Artyom Trusevich or Joachim Hogue. Artyom in the number 7 qualifying position, Joachim in 10. So Joachim will be chasing first. The chase, I think, is what helped him move on into this part of the competition. Again, turn 1 was just not an issue all day, Joe, and now all of a sudden
it's the only issue.
It's the only issue. Drivers in it, like big slowdowns, drive contact, everything is happening in that first corner.
Oh, for sure. And here we go. Artem Trusevich in that R34, Joachim Hogue in that E30. two very different cars. Very interested to see how this battle's gonna go here as we are lined up, and I think we're gonna see these lights click on and they are off.
So Joachim Hoban chased Artem Trusovic, the Latvian, in the lead for SMP Racing Esports. I can't say anything right today, but Joachim going to go a little bit shallow there. Again, lots of grip in that E30. As soon as he gets on the power, it seems to just move forward a little bit. Artem Trusovic doing everything he knows how to do in the lead position right now, but completely missing that inner clip, which is going to open the door for Joachim to put on a ton of pressure in the chase position. Artem, great transition, but into the last corner, Joachim is right there, and I think he was hoping to build some sort of gap, missed that inner clip, and it was all Jover for him after that because Joachim Hogue was right there.
Yep, and let's take a look at this replay. Joachim Hogue looking like he's worked out this E30. I fear that tiny car at this point. That car gives me fear.
As soon as he figures it out, man, I think he's just got a little bit of issue in turn one. Really think he was sitting on a deficit there, Joe, but as soon as RTM missed that first inner clip, huge advantage for Joachim because he's able to close with basically no penalties. So switching him up now, let's see what they can do in opposite positions. Joachim going to be leading and Artem Trusovic in the chase.
There we go, Joachim Hogue in the lead, Artem Trusovic in the chase. As Keenan said, E30 in the lead now, R34 in the chase as our lights are out, and there we go. The winner of this will take on Darius Ostraka in the top 8 for one of our last top 4 spots. And here we go, Joachim Hogue looking unstoppable in that lead, dragging bumper the whole time, as Artem Trusovic having to shallow up to keep up with that little zippy E30, man. Geez, that thing is gripped to the moon in the best way. Huge angle from Joachim Hogue, and I think that he really wants that win today. Oh my gosh, look at that. Jeez, guys.
You're taking a look at the replay again, bottom right of your screen of the most recent run, the first run up in your top left. Joachim, honestly, the laziest initiation we've seen him do all day, which I find kind of odd. I think maybe he thought he was in maybe to go safe or something, or play it smart, but just not quite getting the initiation he's been known for all day today, which door open for Trusovic in the chase, but just couldn't really stay with the E30 like the E30 stayed with him.
And again, look at how Joachim Hogue, look how aggressive he is in his chase on run number 1. It's just nuts. Really just throwing it on in there, throwing that tiny car at that R34. But not a slouch from Artem in the lead. It's here we go. We do have a call. Here we go. Wait, that is incorrect. There it is. Slide it left for Artem. Slide it right for Joachim Hogue. Keep it in the middle for an OMT. As we got 1 for an OMT. 1 for Artem. 2 for an OMT. So line them back up. Let's do it again.
It'd be really nice to see these two clean it up. I think we can see it all came down to that second run. I really think the first run was a bit more clear cut, and then both of them just with their own little mistakes in the second run. We'll see if they can clean it up here. Again, we are in the Brady Tire Generator group number 3. We are trying to work our way to the end of this group. This is the second to last battle. The winner of this will be going up against Darius Ostraka to see who will be moving into the Final Four. Artem Trusovic in the lead in the R34. So Joachim, Big Brain Hogue, says, I don't get the start. I didn't quite get the jump. Let's go for a reset.
They're moving on back to the line, everybody, as every driver is entitled to take a reset if they are not happy with how it jumps off the line.
Yep, those 3 cones basically. The first red line is the restart zone, so you'll know pretty quick if you don't get a good jump. So the Latvian pulls back up to the line here, and we are ready to go once again. In one more time battle in between the SMP Racing Esports machine and the Vosan Racing machine, right to the door, and contact made. he had to do something risky, Joachim Hogue, and it didn't really work out for him last time. A little bit of contact this time. I'm going to be eager to see how the judges view that one. They've been kind of viewing things differently in turn one, and once again, turn one playing a huge role in the outcome of this battle, but Joachim Hogue trying not to leave it in the judges' hands, putting all the pressure on Trusovic, but I don't think it's going to be enough to force him into a mistake, at least to run number one.
I have to agree with that statement. I think so far, Joachim Hogue might have just sent it a little too aggressive into that initiation, because if you're making contact before you even get to the corner, it's hard to say anything but they're getting steamrolled. I don't know for sure. I'm not looking at throttle inputs, but I would have to imagine that's what's going on.
Again, the decel zone does extend to basically where the tire wall starts, so at least that's what I have in my notes from the drivers' meeting, and they weren't changed, so you have to go off of that. Joachim had to send it in there and see if he could stay to the door of Trusovic, but Trusovic getting a little bonk, and it actually costed Joachim more than it costed Trusovic as they switch him up for run two.
And here we go. Joachim Hogue in the lead. Artem Trusovic in the chase. Definitely going to be taking it easy on the initiation, but there we go, pushing that R34 right up to the door. Joachim Hogue, though, no chill, trying to do anything to force an error from Artem in the chase, just trying to send the most aggressive lead run he possibly can. As here we go again through that inside clip and looking great across the line. Overall, great runs from both drivers.
I think the run they needed last time, but unfortunately it is another battle here in group number 3 that's going to come down to turn 1 contact. It's been such a contentious place all day, which is weird because I don't remember turn 1 being this much of an issue last year. So I don't know if the extra speed is a big problem or the size of the zone, but normally our issues were coming out of this big straight, going all the way up to the top of the track. So I'm really excited to speak to our eventual winner and just ask that question. But again, yeah, nice and solid from both. Artem just getting right to the door of Joachim basically immediately, giving him a little bit of room and then closing the gap right before the end of outer zone number 1. And I think,
yeah, I'm getting the word that we do have a call here. And what a run, though, in that chase. Let's see here. Slide him left for Artem, slide him right for Joachim Hogue, keep it in the middle for an OMT, and we have a unanimous decision now. Artem Trusovic moving on. Let's take a look really quick at how we got to this point here.
So there can be only one person moving on to the next level racing Final Four, and it will be either Darius Ostreka or Artem Trusovic, the Latvian or the Lithuanian. And then Darius taking out Thunawat and Vitali to get here, and Artyom taking out Zakhar Polovsky, and as we just saw, Joachim Hogue in a hard-fought battle in the second to last round of our group number 3. But only one person can make it into the Final Four. It will either be Darius Ostreka for Urta Esports or for SMP Racing Esports, Artyom Trusovic.
Looking very good from both of these drivers as they are up the line, and I think they are ready to rip, Keenan.
They're going to have to be. They're both going to need to throw everything at it. Artyom just been getting better and better all day, and Darius Ostreka trying to prove that number 31 qualifying position was a fluke and that he can get it done here today. Darius in the chase. Artyom Trusovic in the lead. Latvia versus Lithuania. Only one driver can move on. Darius with, my God, what? I was going to say with a bit of a late initiation, but then Artyom trying to have to foot brake it and more into the wall a little bit. This is a lot of spaghetti from both drivers right now. Darius with the mistake on initiation. He's trying to keep the car sideways. Artyom doing all the angle in the lead, trying to force Darius into a mistake. Is there too much grip in that S15?
I think there might be, Keenan, overall, because we already... Come on, it's Darius Ostreka. He always has a lot of grip in the car.
True.
And I think that he might just, a little bit too much and too much full send on that initiation, I think, was the biggest issue. And then from there, you just have nerves in a fast car stuck underneath you. And we'll see what happens here. He might just open up a gap here on the lead for his lead. And if he does that, I think that he might be able to claw something back. Maybe. But again, I think right now Artem might be looking pretty close at that top 4.
I think the only thing, Joe, that keeps this still in the hunt is you take a look at this replay one more time. Watch the R34 in the lead. Obviously, mistake from Darius there, but he slows down towards the end of the run and then just big angle, and comes off the zone a bit early there. So not necessarily anything bad, but that big angle really was... Darius was able to close quick, so we'll see if that plays a factor in the second run.
Oh, for sure. So now Darius Ostrake in the lead, Artem Trusovic in the chase. Darius with a big angle entry, and Artem taking it super easy. I think that he thinks that he definitely has an advantage, driving right up onto Darius, doing everything he can to make sure Darius sees him there, really trying to get underneath the skin of that Urta Esports driver, and coming across the line. I don't know, man.
Second run there, a little bit less eventful, as has been the theme of the day. Turn 1, run 1 has been the deciding factor in almost every battle here in group number 3. It would be fitting if it was a deciding factor here at the end of group number 3. But not the best chase from Tucevic. You see him get tight there, but then have to kill a lot of angle, almost straightening the car out. Again, I think safe is the word that you use, Joe, and that's very fair.
As let's take a look at this initiation as well. From the second one, Artem taking it real easy. Look, just I'm chilling. I'm not going to get caught into anything. I'm just going to sneak on up. And once they're on that door, they are ready to rip. Jeez, guys. We're going to go here. And we are getting a call in, I'm hearing. So let's go. Slide it left for Artem, slide it right for Darius, keep it in the middle for an OMT, and we have a unanimous decision. He will be moving on to our final 4. So let's take a look at how our bracket fell apart.
Yeah, no kidding. So Darius Ostraka trying to complete the underdog story, but it's not going to happen. Artem Trusovic driving out of Latvia, the only Latvian in competition for SMP Racing Esports, moving into the final 4 to join Maxos Chekowitz and Cameron Mustard. And there will only be one more driver left to join that final 4. Is it going to be... It's 8 drivers left to compete. Grigory Andreev, Takuma Fujimoto, Dario Andrejev, I don't know why I was reading it like that, Ernestos Yakubelis, John Elgood, Lucas Tomeski, Ethan Minima, and Ryan Plantagen. Only one of them will be joining Artem Trusovic and the other 2 drivers in our Next Level Racing Final 4, and we'll find out who that is when we return in the 2023 round number 2 of ESDA Pro Championship. Don't go anywhere.
Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit MozaRacing.com today. By 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today. Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit MozaRacing.com today. By 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today. Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit MozaRacing.com today. By 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2023 Esports Drift Association Pro Championship here from round number 2 at Sao Paulo, Brazil at Interlagos. My name is Keenan, joined by Joe Piero, Doug, Brady and Andy in the judging booth today. Josh Sponge in the drone cam. And we finally have Hayden Rigsby. Thanks for joining us this year. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for our final group, our 3D wrap group number 4. And immediately we have news. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why. John Elgood is not able to make competition, and we have moved on. So there is no reserves. Basically, once the bracket's done, it's done. So John dropping out of competition will give the win to Lucas Tazemski, moving on into the top 16. Sorry, numbers are hard. The top 16. Sorry, but our first battle will be Ryan Plantagen against Ethan Minima. So Ryan is going to be in the lead in the S15. Ethan in chase in the Supra 8.6 thing.
Yeah. As we're going to find my game, I found my game. Wow.
Dude, I'm so happy for you. No idea where it was.
As we're getting everybody on in here.
As Ryan going to be driving out of Indonesia and Ethan driving out of the United States for Hashira.
Sure.
And Ryan Plantagen for Japan side. I drove that car a little bit during media day. Tough.
Yeah.
That S15. It's caked up. It's not low and wide. It's kind of grippy and a little bit higher in terms of the body, not the body roll, but the ride height, which causes a lot of grip. So you might see him be a little bit quick in this lead position. But Ethan Minima going to try to play spoiler in the chase with the Supra 8.6. Not the best initiation for Ethan, which is unfortunate because Ryan gets a great one, holding the angle really late. Maybe a little bit of a tap to the wall of that S15 in the lead position. But Ethan Minima trying to put the pressure on in the chase. Had to have to back off, putting it right back on the door of Ryan Plantagen. Is it enough to force a mistake? It is not. Great lead from the Indonesian driver.
Very, very good driving from both of them, too. As we're going to get them here and take a look at our replay while we're at it. Look at that, really on in there. Both drivers avoiding contact in turn number 1, which is nice to see as we're going to look through, again, through the transitions. Not the most aggressive run we've ever seen, but also no real super major mistakes from either driver. So we'll take a look at that as we're going to get them back to the line. Hurry up, boys. Take a
Fun
look.
fact. Sorry, go ahead.
No, what's up?
Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, now that John Elgood has dropped out, there is no longer any North Americans in competition. Maxence Chekowitz from France, Cameron Mustard from Scotland, Artem Trushevich from Latvia, and Ryan, Lucas, Daniel, Ernestus, Takuma, and Grigori are all not from North America. So North American League, by the way. So shout out to... Sorry,
everyone.
go ahead.
Yeah, shout out to the North Americans.
I was going to say shout out to Peter Palinkiewicz. First time we've seen the former ESDA pro. Nice to see you. What's going on, Pete?
Hope you're doing well. So here we go. Ethan Minima in the lead. Ryan Plantagen in the chase. There we go. Big initiation in both drivers. And Ryan really pushing right up to the door here as Ethan Minima really doing all he can in that Toyota crossbred thing. As we're going through into our final inside clip, we're going across the line. Not anything too crazy from either of those runs, really.
Yeah, I think similar mistakes in chase. Both of them had solid leads. Obviously, you expect a solid lead from Ryan being your number 3 qualifier. But Ethan kind of putting it up when he needed to in the Toyota when their cousins get a little bit too familiar. Yeah, Ryan kind of going a little bit shallow there. He seemed a little bit wiggly in the chase. Obviously, we want to see him match angle, but also keep it smooth. And then a little bit wide there for Ethan. You would expect Ryan to close the gap, but he doesn't quite. And then a little bit, again, just not really matching the line of Ethan. Again, that white line is now the end of the run, not the yellow line at the end of the course. There's a better look here from Spawn's FPV.
A really good run overall. I'm just trying to also get word about this buy run.
And again, missing the outer zone. You don't really see it from the track cam, but you really get it from the drone cam. Ryan really having a struggle to keep up. I think he complained about speed in the first round as well. As I'm going to assume we have a judging call.
We do, in fact, have a judging call. But left for Ryan, right for Ethan. Keep in the middle for an OMT. And 1, 2, and 3. Unanimous decision. Ethan Minima going on up. So, let's see. What are we doing here?
So far, as we get that figured out, so far in this round, out of all 4 top qualifiers, only one has made it past the top 32, and that is your number 4 qualifier and one of your finalists in the Next Level Racing Final 4, Cameron Mustard. So Ryan Plantagen, Thanawa Wangfuishin, and Austin Zalewski all got knocked out in the top 32.
That is crazy. And here we go. Next battle, we are going to skip that buy run. This season, we are giving drivers the option to do a buy run where they can just go crazy if they want to, or they just don't have to. It's up to them, but we have opted not to. So up next, we got Daniel Andrzej up against Ernestus Ukabellis. Get him up
in
to
the
line.
loudest S13 in the world.
Yeah, let me turn my game down really quick, everybody.
I have my game at 2, and I still can't hear anything at idle in this car.
Sounds about right.
It sounds great. It's just ignorantly loud.
That is true. It is laughably ignorant.
Lucas came up to do his buy run, then decided not to. Now he is.
Just
Now
like
he
doing
isn't.
circles. He's just being tricky, you know.
He's my last brain cell right now, I think.
You're telling me, my guy. And here we go. We got Daniel Andrzej in the lead. Ernestus Ukabellis in the chase. A lot of
Team
angry cars, yeah.
versus IRT Olibet. Daniel Andrzej. Both these drivers, I believe, out of Lithuania. So it's an all-Lithuania battle. Who will be moving on into the top 16 here of your 3D Wrap Group number 4. We're about to find out. Daniel Andrzej in the IRT Olibet S15. In the IRTA Esports S13, your Nestus Ukabellis. A little bit shallow from your Nestus. Going to try to use a little bit of left foot braking to get out to the outer zone. Doesn't quite get it. Going to reset for outer zone number 2. Daniel Andrzej doing a great job in the lead run so far, getting most of those outer zones. Really ticky-tack transition here. But right to the door is Ernestus Ukabellis. All the pressure and more in the chase. Daniel Andrzej nice and smooth in the lead, but good ending from Ernestus.
A very, very strong ending from Ernestus Ukabellis as they are ripping on in. Honestly, great lead from Daniel Andrzej as well. Both drivers here are hungry. I don't know how else to put it, man. They're in it to win it as, again, just look at them go as they're going to go back to line. They are speeding back. They are really ready for this second battle.
Yeah, Ernestus, all the pressure and more. I think if it wasn't for missing the first outer zone, that would be a big advantage for Ernestus Ukabellis. You miss that first outer zone, you go a little bit shallow. It kind of changes your transition for the second outer zone. So you see he kind of gripped up there and went a little bit shallow. Nothing huge. I don't think it's like sitting on a 0 or anything crazy, but
no.
It messes up your transition for outer zone 2, and then you're kind of able to reset. So we'll see what happens when Andrzej in the chase, Ernestus Ukabellis in the lead. One more battle here to go.
And let's see how they go in run number 2. Ernestus Ukabellis had a very strong chase run, and both drivers really had like only a few tiny mistakes that the other can capitalize on. So we're going to see a very full send or no send run here as Ernestus Ukabellis, huge angle, and Daniel Andrzej tucking right in on that door very, very nicely through that outside zone as well. Oh me, oh my, as we're going up the hill, both drivers really want this win as we are going over and across the line. I do not envy the judges.
So I'm looking for a similar mistake from Daniel Andrzej in turn 1 as to what Ernestus did in his chase. Ernestus with a super solid lead. One of the only people, I think Nico Stalia was also doing this, where they kind of enter to the left of the wall, and then once they get on power, they're back within the limits of the track. Because if he stayed out that wide, he's in the fence. So super risky initiation. Maybe not matching the angle at the end there was Andrzej. as we'll get a great look from Spawns here in the drone cam. And watch, he's like in the wall, gets back on the power, just has it perfect.
Really
So Andrew
good.
Andrew a little bit shallow in outer zone 1, maybe a very shallow outer zone 2. And you know what, Joe? Considering there was minimal mistakes, that might come down into whoever moves on from this battle if we have a winner.
Yeah, we will definitely see, as I'm getting a murmur from our judges. We do have a call in, and it is not unanimous. Slide it left for Daniel Andrzej. Slide it right for Ernestus Ukabelis in the middle for an OMT. Brady wants an OMT. Swirly likes Daniel. And Andy also likes Daniel Andreev. Moving on. And we will move on to our final top 32 battle of the day. Takuma Fujimoto up against Gregory Andreev. Rough Angels 87. Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. That's my best guess too.
We'll see what we got up our sleeve here as we will get them on the line, ready to go for run number 1.
So moving up there now, we're gonna have the only Japanese driver in competition, Takuma Fujimoto. Again, Grigory Andreev in the chase. Grigory driving out of Ukraine. Ukraine versus Japan. Only one can move on. Fujimoto in the lead in the only GR86 in competition with the biggest wing in the world. Huge. And very shallow was Fujimoto. Kind of a wacky initiation, but it's not going to matter when Andreev drives him up the backside. Just trying to time the transition there. And again, you mess up turn 1, it kind of messes up your flow for outer zone number 2. So it went from a minor mistake to a major mistake. I'm not sure which way the judges are going to view that.
I don't think they're going to like it, but let's take a look at the replay to get an idea. I don't know, man.
Watch right here. It's tough because it looks like Andreev's trying to time it and then just mistimes it, but I think his timing may have been off because of the, I don't want to say mistake in outer zone 1, but Fujimoto's initiation, but he's allowed to do that.
He definitely is, as we're going to get him back up to the line and ready to go.
So, just a quick update on that last battle. Andrzej moved ahead because the lead and chase was more composed. The follow was the line that they wanted to see out of the 2 judges who voted for Andrzej.
Noted.
Yeah, I was close. I had no idea who was going to win that, so I wanted to hear a little bit more for my own reasons.
Oh, I totally get it, as Gregory Andreev will be leading Takuma Fujimoto, and I think Gregory is sitting on a rather large disadvantage overall. But Takuma...
Well, that'll help! Takuma!
Not good at all. Such a shame.
I don't know why you dropped it.
Oh, it's so easy. Yeah, that's going to be an upset, I bet.
I don't know if he just knocked the wheel out of his hand or what happened, but he bounced off the wall and it looked like, obviously that's not good, but it looked like the car was still in control. Watch the bottom right of your screen. Gets gapped early on, but he's sitting on an advantage, no big deal. He just James Deans it and then whips the car around. Yeah, I don't know if it just kind of reacted weird to him there at the end, but it was definitely recoverable.
Yeah, for sure. And let's take a look from the other angle we have, because I don't know how else to do it. It doesn't look like lag.
No. So watch the 8.6. He goes in deep, hits the wall.
Look, you can see him pull steering back out. Can we pop right back on that replay and see it one more time? Thank you. As again, look, watch the front wheels. Look, he's pulling angle out. He's not happy with it.
Oh yeah, he goes in
and
deep.
Then look,
he's trying to
wheels out.
Yeah. Because he's turning right before he even gets into the wall, Joe. But when I said he James Deaned it, again, if you watched F Formula Drift in Englishtown over the last, as we do have a winner here, by the way, if you didn't know, So I'll get into that after.
1, 2, and 3. I think we all kind of saw that one. Unfortunate.
A heartbreaker for Fujimoto, because I think if he would have just ran his line, he would have been okay. He fell into the trap, but he got gapped at the line. As our first battle now would be Lucas Tasmeski and Ethan Minima. This will be Lucas's first battle. He did get a bye because John Elgood dropped out of the competition. Hope everything's all good with Elgood. So I think Ethan will be chasing and Lucas will be leading. But yeah, James was trying to chase Adam LZ and slept at the line, went into the first corner way too hot, trying to catch up and blew the first corner.
That did happen. I remember that now.
So that was kind of what I saw from Fujimoto there, but all he had to do was just go, I have an advantage, and run the rest of the run, and then I think was just so scared of getting in the wall, caused him more issues than it would have, but unfortunately for him, we'll see him back in round number 3, but see who moves on into the final 4. Lucas not getting the initiation.
Oh, no!
So a lot happened there.
Yeah, I think Lucas oversent it, and Ethan got collected.
Yeah, so I think the rest of this run now just basically a glorified practice run for both. Lucas went in real deep. I don't know how he didn't get in the wall, but halfway through the corner, he still wasn't on power, I don't think. So watch this again. Watch the lead car. Watch the S14 as best you can. Yeah, a big choke there in terms of speed. And Ethan's got to dig, you know what I mean? He's in the chase, and he's at a deficit. He's got to catch back up, so that is not a decel zone.
Yeah.
We've seen contact there today that's kind of gone the way of the lead car, though, so I'm not sure how that's going to go, but especially with the pulling angle out of the S14, I think it makes it a little bit more obvious.
Oh, for sure, as we'll get him up to the line and ready here for run at number 2. So now Ethan Minima just kind of's got to bring it home. And Lucas Tazimski gonna do anything to fluster that lead driver and hopefully do something, anything, to get what they need done. And so we are ready to go here. Lucas Tazimski really cheating pretty far back on that start, and they are off. Here we go. Got Ethan in the lead, Lucas in the chase, throwing on the angle, and again, Ethan playing it easy. Lucas God. Fighting in, diving on in there, looking great, right up on the wall, big angle. I think Ethan is feeling confident today. I've only seen him drive in round 1, and round 1 they drove well, but this is a whole different level. They definitely want that final 4 slot. Across the line they go.
That was almost game blouses for Ethan Minima going into the initiation. Went a little bit shallow, came in a little bit hot, and needed to just kill the right amount of speed. So he doesn't quite get the angle. I think he knows he's sitting on a big advantage, but almost tags the wall. And if he would have tagged the wall there, it would have been double zeros. So almost over, ends up just gathering it up. And I think you just see him, he's a little rattled the rest of his run, but then gets comfortable here at the end. But it's too little too late for Lucas.
And let's take a look at this is what was definitely the deciding factor here. Throwing it in, big angle, and just right on the wall, and dragged a bumper, it almost looked like. And that's just a shame, just a little bit too much send. As we'll slide it left for Lucas, right for Ethan, in the middle for an OMT. And I think we know which way this one's gonna go. Ethan Minima moving on. They will take on the winner of this next battle. Daniel Andrejev up against Gregory Andreev. Oh, I'm going to get confused during this one.
I've been looking at the bracket going, oh no. There's too many vowels.
Yeah, right.
Andrejev driving out of Ukraine in the chase position. Andreev driving out of Lithuania in the lead. And Imperium saying in the chat that the initiation should not be killing as many drivers as it is right now. We were fine for the first 2 groups, and then everything started falling apart after that. So
I pointed out that first wall. I know what I wanted to see, and I wanted to see
literally the second after you said it, everyone's like, "We got it, boss. No worries." But Andrejev in the chase. Andreev, I messed it up. Andrejev in the lead. Andreev in the chase. There, it happened already, Joe. You're welcome. Not the best initiation for the Ukrainian in chase, but the Lithuanian in the lead for IRC. Olipet making the best of a bad situation. A little bit shallow there is Andreev in the inner clip. but doing the best he can in the chase position. Looks like there's a ton of grip in that all blue S15 in the chase. Nice job for Andreev in the lead. Or Andreev in the lead.
Yeah.
I keep...
I'm going to refer to them as Gregory and Daniel. Daniel in the lead, doing great with the flashy lights, the blinky lights, as Gregory in the chase, trying to keep right up on that door. What an amazing run from both drivers here. And again, coming on through into that final position. And I think we're getting ready for run number 2 even, man.
Dan and Greg.
Dan and Greg.
There you go. Welcome to North America.
Yeah, welcome to North America.
Those are your new names.
Deal with it.
We need someone to represent NA in the finals here, so I've chosen you two.
As we are getting them lined up and ready to go. Yeah, do not worry about the gravity in Brazil, okay? It's totally fine.
Small glitch in the system. It's all good. Don't worry about it. So now Andreev will be in the lead and Andrejev in the chase.
Yep, as Gregory Andreev in the lead in that all blue S15. Let's see, Daniel Andrejev in the chase. Big angle, but keeping it on, having to pull a little bit out to keep it out of the wall. Looking very good through the transition, pushing right up to that door as aggressively as they can. And let's see through that final transition. Let's see what they have up their sleeve. Both of these guys want to go on and battle for the final 4 slot. Let's see what
Today might be Andrejev's day if he can keep it together like this. Watch this initiation. Super aggressive. Bam. Right to angle. Had to pull a little bit out of it. But I think, luckily for him, Greg in the lead tapped the wall just a little bit and straightened out. So not a 0, mind you, and I don't know if the mistakes are going to equal out, but 2 mistakes from both drivers independently in turn 1, and then turning up the heat was Andrejev in the chase. And what I liked about his lead too, tons and tons and tons of angle as Spawns gets a better look at it here.
And looking at that, again, Daniel Andrejev really throwing in maybe a little bit too much, and I think that might have been the bigger mistake of the mistakes that were made. It might go towards a decision. And again, looking very good, though, from that drone cam, I must say so. As up.
Great.
Yep, here we go. Slide it left for Daniel Andrejev, slide it right for Gregory Andreev. Keep it in the middle for an OMT. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Moving on. Gregory Andreev. Been good. So, what will this battle be?
So that one confused me a little bit. Not gonna lie, I really thought it was Andrejev's battle to lose there, but Andreev getting the win. They're saying that Andrejev slowed in the first zone, which caused Grigori to choke up and opened up the gap between them. So judges seeing, that's why they're judges and that's why we're commentators. But Grigori Andreev getting the win there and will now be trying to make it into the final 4, but Ethan Minima trying to play spoiler. The only one who we will be able to interview if he wins, so I'm hoping he makes it in. But Grigori Andreev trying to play sports. Greg and Ethan.
Greg and Ethan, let's go.
In your 3D Wrap Group number 4 final, trying to see who makes it in your next level racing final 4. The chase driver Ethan Minima out of the USA. And the Ukrainian of Grigori Andreev in the lead. Who's going to make it to the finals? Grigori onto the door of the lead vehicle is Ethan Minima, but having to back off a little bit. Gets to the door now of outer zone number 2. This is where we've seen so many people make mistakes in chase. Nice transition from Minima. Gets the outer zone. Andreev solidly to run. Maybe going to pull a little bit more angle there. And Ethan said, don't worry, buddy. Let me help you out with that. Nice little tap before getting to the line.
And really pushing on in it too, which is what I like to see, especially because these guys, they're ready to go. We're looking for that final 4 slot. These guys definitely are hungry. They cooking.
Me too.
Dude, me 3, man.
Not me. I'm not cooking.
I'm not gonna cook either. I'm gonna
should be barbecuing today.
I'm gonna cook up a jar of whiskey.
Who hurt you, Joe?
No one.
Talk about it.
No, it's good for you. We're gonna go and get him back to the line.
Can't get sick if your blood's full of alcohol, right? That's how that works.
Yeah, it's generally the case. The doctor told me that was good.
So Ethan now going to be chasing, or am I
Leading.
dumb? I am dumb. He's going to be leading. What? I'm having a day.
It's okay. Ethan Minima leads. Gregory Andreev will be chasing. We're ready to see. And let's get him ripping.
Also, what I said earlier, Ethan is the last North American in competition. Thought he was also driving out of the UK. Turns out I can't read.
As I'm good at that sometimes too. As Ethan Minima leads Gregory Andreev into turn 1. Let's see, are there any dramas? No, there are not. Turning and burning through outside zone number 1 through the transition, looking very good. And outside zone number 2, it's kind of straightening up, but we'll see as we go through that transition, final transition of this battle maybe, unless we get an OMT and across the line. Take a look at that. Jeez, guys.
I think, Joe, it's going to come down to outer zone number 3 in the chase run from Andreev. Keep an eye on that S15. He's been kind of using that strategy of, I'm going to make sure I'm on your door, and I don't really care if I match angle. He gets it there against Minima and just straightens out a little bit there and taps that lead vehicle. And again, I don't think the hit really caused Ethan too much, but I think Andreev made the contact and then kind of had a moment of, oh God, oh no. And you'll see, especially from the spawns cam, you'll see how it affects him going into the last corner.
Let's take a look at this as they throw it on in, getting right up on the door. Check him out, man. Again, looking very, very good. And I am getting word that there is a call here. And right after that, we'll take a look at our scores and get our final 4 all together and ready to go.
Yeah, see how he kind of just goes wide there a little bit. Like any chance I think he had of keeping it even kind of went up there.
Slide it left for Andreev, slide it right for Minima, in the middle for an OMT. And Ethan Minima moving on up. Looking good, man.
So one of those 2 Hashira drivers making it into the Final 4. And ladies and gentlemen, your Final 4 is now set. Maxence Chekowitz out of France. Cameron Mustard, Team RPM out of Scotland. Artyom Trushevich, the SMP Racing Esports from Latvia. And Ethan Minima out of the good old US of A for Team Hashira. Who will be taking the win in your Next Level Racing Final 4? Ladies and gentlemen, our final break of the day as we come back after this break for your finals of your round number 2 here from Brazil from your Esports Drift Association 2023 Pro Championship.
Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit MozaRacing.com today. By 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today. Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit mozaracing.com today. By 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today. Coverage of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Championship is brought to you by Next Level Racing. Build your ultimate simulation racing experience with Next Level Racing. Esports tested and award-winning. Visit nextlevelracing.com and use code ESDA23 to save $100 on gaming chairs for U.S. customers only. Next Level Racing. Take your drifting to the next level. By Moza Racing. Moza Racing is determined to create innovative and professional sim racing equipment that drivers can depend on for quality and endurance. Go further, go faster with Moza Racing. Want to get your hands on some of the best sim racing equipment on the market? Visit mozaracing.com today. By 3D Wrap. Looking to upgrade your rig? 3D Wrap has sim racing mods, upgrades, and devices delivered with passion you can only get by being made in Italy. Visit 3dwrap.it for your next sim racing upgrade. And by Vosan, your home for Assetto drifting content. Want the track for today's competition? Looking for the best competition and fun drift content? Find everything drift and more at Vosan. Visit vosan.co to start driving today.
Welcome back, everybody, to the final four of your ESDA 2023 round number 2 here from Sao Paulo, Brazil, Interlagos, Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. I have now exhausted all the Portuguese that I know. Welcome back, everybody. This is your final four. It has all come down to this. We have 4 drivers left. Maxence Chekowitz, Cameron Mustard, Artyom Trusovic, and Ethan Minima. Only one will be your winner, and it looks, Joe, like we are going to have a first-time winner here today, but who is it going to be? Cameron Mustard, Maxence Chekowitz? Only one of them them can make the final. It's either the Scotsman or the Frenchman, and we're about to find out who it's going to be.
And they are lined up. We're finding our game one last time today. And we are ready to go here. Cameron Mustard in the lead. Maxon Chekowitz in the chase. Super excited to see this battle, and let's see what happens as they get out of the gate, ripping on through here. Cameron Mustard, big initiation, and Masan Chekowitz taking advantage and trying to catch right on up after getting gapped off of the line. And here we go, looking great through that inside clip and up the hill. Let's see through the final transition of the run. What do they have up their sleeve as they're going across the line? Not a bad run, making some contact after the line.
Cameron Mustard has been in a league of his own in the first two outer zones. And I mean, in terms of consistency and how deep he dares go, look at the angle the R32 pulls through here, chokes a little bit of it out, but he's right to the wall. And you think, oh, he's not going to do that again. Absolutely. Right to the wall once again. But a good lead breeds a good chase. Maxence Chekowitz right there on the quarter panel, maybe could have matched the angle a little bit better, and then Cameron maybe a little bit of a lack of angle here. Maxence, I think that's where he's making up his ground on Cameron, but Cameron, again, I think I said it in chat a little bit earlier, the right side of the bracket was a little bit too inconsistent. I really do think this is the battle for the win.
I honestly, I'm so stunned and floored with the level of driving that's like everyone has brought today. I don't know, man. Anyone can win. Everyone's been really like on their game today as Maxime Chekowitz in the lead, Cameron Mustard in the chase, and we are ready here for this second battle, and we'll determine who goes to our finals battle and who goes to the battle for third place.
All right, Maxence, ACDFR in the BMW, Team RPM, Jap Speed R32 of Cameron Mustard, France versus Scotland. Only one's making the final. Who is it going to be? Cameron Mustard in the chase, Maxence Chekowitz in the lead. Maxence goes in real deep, but he's going to break a little bit harder than I think he wanted to. Cameron dropped back and then caught right back up to him. Nice transition for Cameron Mustard, but Maxence with the angle, maybe coming off the zone just a little bit early. Cameron Mustard gives him a, hey, how you doing? A little bit of a bump going into the inner clip, and Cameron Mustard's going to charge in once again. Maxence cutting a bit of angle out of the car just to make sure Cameron doesn't catch all the way back up to him and across the line. A lot to talk about in that second run.
Oh, there was a lot to talk in that run for sure. As again, let's take a look down in the bottom right corner of your screen. Cameron Mustard just fighting, doing anything he can, getting that proximity. Very, very good. And we're going to definitely take another closer look at this run. Again, looking good. Let's take a look at our drone cam really quick.
And right here, you'll see Maxence is in the zone. Maybe starts coming off it just a little bit early. Cameron gives a little doot, 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 doot. Not a whole lot. Just a couple little kisses right just to the door. Just a little one on the forehead, letting him know he's about to tell him good night again. Shout out to all of our European competitors in our Final Four. It is early evening. It was a little bit crazy last round. I think it was what, like 8 o'clock for us, Joe, by the time we were done. So it was full blown tomorrow for them, but a little bit better today, as we do have a judging decision.
Yep, slide him left for Cameron, right for Maxence. And here we go. Cameron Mustard moving on and will be battling for first or second place. And do not fret, Maxence Chekowitz will be battling in our third place battle.
So Cameron Mustard, the Mussy, getting the win and moving on into the finals here in the Next Level Racing Final Four. Who will be joining him on the right side of the bracket? It is either going to be Hashi Razom, Ethan Minima Despi, if you will, or Artyom not Chokov.
That's wrong.
Artyom Trusevic in the R34 from Latvia and SMP Racing Esports. It is the American or the Latvia moving on. Kristaps biggest fan, I got to imagine, and Artyom Trusevic trying to get through over Nathan Minima. That is a loud noise.
Okay. So Keenan might die. Do not worry.
If I leave the broadcast, it's because I was crushed by a tree. It sounds like somebody's tap dancing on top of me right now, and they really shouldn't. I am the only one home. There's nobody else here. So
please be safe.
Yeah. News to me that we had a tornado warning today. I'm gonna do a quick weather network while we get them on the battle here to make sure I'm not gonna die.
Yeah, you go do that. Artem Trusovic will be leading Ethan Minima in that mixed car, the 8.6 Supra thing, up against the R34 of Ayrton Trusovic.
Oh, good. It just says in all caps, take cover immediately.
Okay, good. Are you in cover?
I am in cover, and we're about to watch this battle here. This is the right side of your bracket to see who makes it into your finals. Artem going really deep, but Ethan having the balls, the absolute chutzpah to be able to put it on in the door of Trusovic. We have not seen that from anybody all day today, and it's going to cost him right there. Contact for Trusovic and the SMP Racing Esports machine in the lead position. Good angle from the R34 in the lead position. Ethan Minima trying to leave it all on the racetrack here as we cross the line.
Let's take a look at our replay here, as my first one is not happy. Why? It's okay. We'll fix it, everyone.
You don't have to look at the first one. The second, well,
Oh, yeah, that was the first battle.
that was the only battle.
Oh,
You confused me there.
That's
a
why. Anyway,
You fixed it.
I fixed it. There you
Look
go.
at you go.
Look at me going there. Crazy. As we're going to get there. I don't know. There's a little bit of contact there.
There was just a touch.
I have to see.
Oh, I think so. Okay. Never mind. Somebody saw.
That's good. As we're getting them back to the line here. Let's see.
Yeah. Like, look how aggressive that initiation was. Nobody's had the bravery to get that close on initiation. Unfortunately, a little bit of contact in the second part of the run, and Ethan, I think, just couldn't mentally gather it up. It's definitely not over, but Trusovic, the Latvian, is in the driver's seat here.
As we're getting ready for run number 2 here, as we're going to have Ethan Minima in the lead up against Artem Trusovic in the chase. One of them's going to go on to battle Cameron Mustard. The other one will take on Maxine in that third place battle. And here we go. Ethan Minima in the lead. Artem Trusovic in the chase. Big angle, looking very, very good through the transition again. Just doing everything he has to be doing in that lead, trying to make any mistake in that chase happen, as Artem Trusovic is just keeping on up. Looking great as we go through that inside clip and across the line. Overall, pretty decent driving from everybody involved.
You know, we haven't really seen it one more time since I think group number 1, if I'm not mistaken. And this might be a great candidate depending on how the judges view the leads. Just based on chases, Trusovic just wasn't there. For me, at least, Joe. Like, he got close in certain areas, but wasn't matching angle, didn't have the best line, wasn't filling the zones as good. Ethan, he was either incredible or all over the place in his chase. So I think that evens out. So we'll have to see how the judges view both of their lead runs. But when it comes to chases, like, look how close Ethan gets here. That's unbelievable. Nobody's done that all day.
Let's see here. This is where it got a little bit hairy, as there's a little bit of contact, but I bet that kind of just looked like popped out netcode, and he adjusted as needed. We do have a call here. Who will move on here? Artem Trusovic in the left, Ethan Minima to the right, and we have a call. 1, 2, and 3. Ethan Minima taking the win.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will have an interview. At the end of this, it's either going to be Cameron Mustard or Ethan Minima for the win, but to get there, we have to go through our third place battle. Again, another great day for SMP Racing Esports. They had 2 cars in the third place battle. This time, they're going to have one that might make it to the podium. Maxence Chekowitz from France going to try to play spoiler in the BMW, but Artem Trusovic, the Latvian driver, a heck of a day trying to cap it all off with the third step on the podium.
As we are getting our drivers up to the line and ready to go. And a reminder, these next 2 battles, we will not be announcing them until they are for sure. Maybe only an OMT, but that is it. And we're getting ready to go here.
It's both cars on the line now. Again, this is your third place battle. Artem Trusovic, the 2 Europeans. Very aggressive initiation and knocks the daylights out of him is Maxence. He had to go for it there, Joe. I think it's the top 3 battle. If you have anything left, it's time to bring it. And unfortunately for Maxence, he brought it a little bit too hard. Artem's going to finish his run, cross the line. But yeah, unfortunately for Maxence, just throwing it in a bit too heavy.
It is unfortunate. That is for sure.
He just tries to do what Minima did in his chase and just a little bit too close. He tries that thing that we've seen some of the IRTA drivers do. We saw Nico Stalia do, where he's got one tire on the curb and then gets back on the gas to get to get the car into the zone.
Let's
do too much iRacing.
Yeah, right here. No, trust me, I have too. But here, again, just cruising out at the end of that run. But let's take a look one more time at this. Let's see. Big initiation in, and you can just see already. Yep, just way too much. We are ready to go here.
I'm getting word from judges, by the way. I think we'll see if we can get a little bit of extra clarification for you, but I think it was the chase that won Minima his final 4 battle. But we'll get to see him again in the final as we go with the second run here.
And here we go. Maxon Chikowitz in the lead. Artem Trusovic in the chase. Big initiation. Maxon trying to do anything to get Artem to make a mistake, but so far Artem seems to be taking it easy, and we'll see what happens here. But so far, I think Artem just has to finish this run.
He straightened!
And he straightens huge! Are we going to see an OMT here? We might. We very well might see an OMT. That was an unforced error.
We could even see a Maxence win, depending on how the judges view that first run contact.
Yeah, right?
We've seen wackier things happen in turn 1 today. Again, watch the second run here. Artem doing smart driving, trying to secure his 3rd place for both himself and his team. And here's what all goes wrong. There's R34, sorry, has had so much grip, and it's kind of hard to tell with the black wheels, but that car was not counter steering. That was if it was either a 0, the closest thing I've ever seen to a 0, but you won't be able to lie from the truth serum as it is the drone cam.
Yeah, as we're going to take a look here, and let's see what happened in this chase position. Again, what happened here?
I'm watching the front wheels.
Yeah, look at that. Just straightens on
right
out.
There.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, and we do have a call, but again, we don't tell you that one until later. So up next, this is for all the cookies.
And this is for your overall win. Either one of these drivers will be a first-time ESDA winner. Cameron Mustard, the Team Japspeed, Team RPM, Skyline R32 out of Scotland. And going right behind him is the American of Ethan Minima, trying to keep the NA League NA from Hashira and Suzuki Autobody. Can he get it done against Cameron Mustard, who has looked infallible today? Has not been shaken, has not been stirred. We'll be able to see if that happens here right now as we move into our final of ESDA round number 2 here in our 2023 Pro Championship. Heading into turn number 1, where Cameron has been so strong all day. Not the best initiation from Ethan, as Cameron does what he's been doing best. Can he do it again? Absolutely. Nice job on the outer zone, but Ethan Minima's right there. A little bit of a straight from Cameron. He misses a bit of that inner clip. Door open now for Ethan to put the pressure on in the chase position, and he does right on the door of Cameron Mustard. What a start to our final battle here, Joe.
Yeah, that you could say that for sure. And again, both drivers in it to win it today. They are hungry for their first win, both of them. You can tell by how they are driving as well, really just throwing it on through the transition, again right on the door. My gosh, what a run from both of these drivers.
It's going to come down to run number 2, as Ethan Minima has been minimizing mistakes today. I think that's been the big theme of his battles, is he's not necessarily been perfect. He's just been making the lesser of the mistakes and capitalizing on the mistakes of others. So if Cameron Mustard with a small mistake in his lead but that is the biggest mistake he's made all day in the lead position. He's going to need a heck of a chase here to at least put the end to Ethan Minima's run as we switch him up for run number 2.
And we are getting ready to go as we got Ethan Minima in the lead, Cameron Mustard in the chase. And there we go. They are off. Looking very strong, ripping it on, and already contact. Cameron Mustard getting right into Ethan's door, but I think it did not matter to either of the drivers as they're going through outside zone number 2. Both of these drivers are so hungry for their first win. Again, driving as aggressively as they can and coming through inside clip and across the line. Looking good. Was that enough?
Cameron Mustard with the best chase I think he's had all day. Watch the initiation here. Ethan Minima's the only one that's entered aggressive. Cameron said, I can do that too. Right to the door of Ethan Minima. Maybe a little bit of contact. It's hard to tell if it was actual contact because Ethan didn't look too affected by it. Either way, straight opening up the steering here just a little bit to make sure Ethan Minima, who's been so fast, does not pull away from him. And then watch the proximity through the last corner. Cameron Mustard, an excellent job in chase. Needs a good lead, though, and as you get a better look of it here.
Yeah, let's take a look again on the Spawns FPV drone cam, the quote-unquote truth serum, if you will.
That.
Yeah, but let's be real, it does work. As we're looking again, Ethan with a very, very good lead run over on Cameron Mustard, putting that nose right on in there where it has to be. And again, pushing as much as he can in the chase. And let's see, do we have a drone? We do, of run number 1 as well. And that is true. We'll watch this run out. We'll get our drivers lined up. And we'll get them over. Again, looking very, very good as we do have official calls here. And again, let's get them all ready and lined up. Bring them on down.
So we've got 2 drivers already here waiting for the final verdict. Again, I think very, very impressive dates from both these drivers. Ethan, obviously not an ESDA rookie, as found himself in the Final Four. And Cameron Mustard, who has been a bridesmaid for a long time here in ESDA, had decent runs, maybe just couldn't put down good qualifying runs and little things happening here and there, trying to have his first win of his ESDA career. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got all 4 of them lined up.
And for third place, are you ready, Keenan? We got Maxon Chikowitz taking third place. Looking very good.
Maxence Chekowitz from ACDFR, the Frenchman, taking the 3rd step on the podium. What a huge, huge improvement from the last season of battles of them. So congratulations to Maxence and taking home 3rd place, and also to Trucevic, for Artem Trucevic, the Latvian, for taking home 4th place. An excellent finish for both of them. However, there can be only one winner.
Who's it gonna be?
And your winner. And it came down to outer zone number 1 once again. I believe it would have been outer zone outer zone 1 on run 2, or run 1, sorry, that caused the whole thing. Your winner for the first time here in ESDA Esports Scripts Association, the 2023 Pro Championship, will be Ethan Minima. Ethan Minima, the only North American left in competition, took out all the Europeans, moved his way to the Final Four, and out of consistency and a hard-fought battle, you see, he lost all the front parts to that super thing, majig, whatever you want to call it, found his way into the Final Four, found his way into the finals, and wins in his rookie season for the Esports Drift Association.
And look at him go. What a run. What a battle. And let's go. We should do some interviews, right, Keenan? Is that how we're gonna do that, eh?
I hope so.
I hope
actually
so
be able
as
to
well. And I'll do some working on that if you want to talk people through this bracket.
Yeah, again, as we try to get our drivers prepared for, we'll at least be able to get Cameron and Ethan. I don't know how good the English is of our 2 European drivers, but I feel like we're about to find out. But again, Ethan with a super hard-fought battle through the bracket today. Took out Ryan Plantagen, again, your number 3 qualifier, an upset there. Took out Lucas Tizmetsky, your number 14 qualifier. And then Grigory Andreev, who had to brawl his way into the Final Four. And then took out Artyom Trusevich, who looked like he was on a warpath, taking out 3 of the strongest drivers in ESDA to get there with Thanawat Wangpushin, Vitaly Esayev, and Darius Ostreka, and took him out, and then took out Cameron Mustard, who looked like he could not be stopped today. And unfortunately, it came down that little bit of contact in outer zone number 1, and that was GG as Ethan Minima takes the win in his rookie season and will be on the top step of the podium for the first time here in the 2023 ESDA Pro Championship.
And here we go. Speaking of Ethan Minima, joining us in the booth is Ethan Minima. What's up, Ethan?
What's up? I'm doing great, man.
Yeah?
No words to say.
Yeah, I hope that you are stoked, because, man, what a run today did you have. What a run.
Yeah, it took all of me, really. I was really struggling during practice, especially with my wheel issues from round 1 entering round 2, and I think just all the practice really paid off, really.
Awesome, yeah, and you night and day. I don't want to say night and day because you were driving great last round as well, but it's great to see as a first round winner. Do you have anyone you want to thank? Any sponsors, any friends, anything like that? The floor is yours.
I mean, main spotter, man, Suzuya Auto Body. Check out his stuff. He's great. He's been my spotter throughout my entire sim career, so he's been crazy. Thank you to Damon as well for putting together this real nice livery for this season. It's been really doing me well. And just all my friends, family, all that type of stuff.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, and great driving today, really, Ethan. Again, congratulations on your win. Super stoked for you, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Okay, you have a great day.
You too.
As again, Keenan, look at that, man. Look at this bracket. Look at everything we did, guys. It just really came in and sent. So do you have any thoughts, Keenan?
Today flew by. I gotta tell you, again, this is for kind of everybody. A big improvement on last round in terms of our second time doing a one-day format. So it was cool. I thought we were going to be here till 8 o'clock again. No, we all figured it out. It went much smoother. What was the real big shock to me was how much I didn't think this would be that hard of a track. The initiation was tricky, but it wasn't like impossible. And as you saw with the back half of the bracket and the final, outer zone number 1 claimed plenty of lives here today, but one person that did not claim is Ethan Minima. Again, rookie driver here in ESDA, and made it up to the top step of the podium. It was so awesome to see Suzuya Auto Body get recognition for the top step of the podium. Do check them out on Instagram. Awesome stuff. Some stuff for sale on Gumroad. If you ever wanted to get into sim drifting, they have pre-made cars for you. It's a great place to start.
Yeah, for real. Check them out. So, what a day we had. All of our friends here, Keenan with me in the booth, our judges, Doug Armisen, the man known only as Brady, Andy Collins, our drone cam, Josh Spawns, and our runner, Hayden Rigsby. Man, I am so excited for how today went. I had so much fun. I hope everyone out in Chatland also had fun. And I
have a word from the boss man, by the way.
Oh.
I was like, oh wait, Joe's outroing. I should say something. Okay. So Initial Harold McKinney is actually working an IRL event today. So he's not physically here, but he's been, because he's a lunatic, he's been watching while he's at work. he said, again, thank you to all the staff. I think we were getting to that. A much better job today and how everything was worked over, and I hope it was better for you guys to watch at home. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Vosan, again, you're going to be able to find the track on vosan.co. If it's not right now, it will be within the next 12 hours, 24 hours, I'm sure, as well as with the rest of our ESDA tracks for the last season and a half. Moza Racing for putting up some awesome prizes, again, where they're giving away 2 wheelbases this year. That's huge. Brady's Tire Generator, again, Brady's done a big job on the tracks for this year, so it's been nice to have him step up, as well as you, Joe, to step up to be a replacement producer as well. Amity's been going through some issues, so it's been nice to have Joe do double duty here behind the scenes, not only commentate and then do the qualifying as well. Frankie to be able to let me sleep in a little bit has been great. 3D Wrap as well. They're giving away some handbrakes and some shifters to the winners, so make sure to check out !3D Wrap or 3dwrap.it. And of course, Next Level Racing, your home for racing simulators. Again, take your drifting to the next level at nextlevelracing.com. If you use !NLR in the chat, you'll have a link that will save you 5% off all your purchases for U.S. customers only. And if you use the code ESDA23 at checkout, you will save $100 off of any of their premium gaming chairs, which I have heard are very comfy for your buttocks. So thank you to all of our supporters. Thank you to all of our staff. Thank you to all you for watching at home. And the next track will be one that is very favored, and it's Dai's second favorite on the schedule this year. I don't know how good it could be if it's his second favorite.
It's only his second favorite.
It's not my actual favorite. It's number 2.
Yeah, it's okay, because if I can't have first favorite, get second favorite.
It's like how my mom loved me. I was her second favorite, right?
Totally, dude. Oh my gosh. Anyway, my gosh, Keenan, what a round. And let's let these lovely people off here so you can send them out.
All right, everybody, on behalf of the entire Esports Drift Association media crew and staff crew and drivers, it has been a wonderful day. Next round will be July 22nd and Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We will see you then here for the third round of the 2023 Esports Drift Association Pro Championship. And until then, we'll see you next time. Have a great night, everybody. Happy Canada Day!
Unsaid, for all the times I found promises dead. I had nightmares along the